The West Zone was at the Government Law College in Mumbai, and the North Zone was held at the Indian Society of International Law in Delhi. From these regional rounds, the top 2 teams from each zone have qualified for today's final. We are very honored that the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, the Honorable Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, Justice D.K. Upadhyay, and the President of the SCBA, Senior Advocate Kapil Sibal, have agreed to be our chief guests for the event, and they'll be joining us soon. We are deeply and immensely also grateful to all the renowned senior advocates who have supported this event. I'm not going to take the time now to name each one of them. We will leave that for the vote of thanks, but we must extend our heartful gratitude for them. Without them, this event would not have been possible. Our quiz partners for this event is Q-Shala, and the quiz master for the event is the co-founder of Quiz-Shala. The media partner, of course, is LiveLaw, and we are very grateful to them for extending all their help in this event. Let me now introduce you to the quiz master for the day so that we can start the finale soon. Today's quiz master is the Sunday afternoon judge who will be asking you all the questions. But you need not worry, as this judge will not impose costs on you for your frivolous answers. Instead, he will extend handsome rewards every time you get an answer right. There are, however, no adjournments allowed today, as the grand finale must be concluded today itself. You can try and seek a passover, but I cannot guarantee you that the next council will not get your matter disposed of. So passovers are at your own risk. To keep the participants honest and to entertain and engage all of you, while steering this grand finale to its conclusion, we have with us today a serious quiz addict. He is the co-founder of Quiz-Shala, an organization which proudly features in the Limca Book of Records for conducting a quiz successfully in the Antarctic Peninsula and for becoming the first organization to have actually conducted quizzes in all 7 continents of the world. A truly global quiz aficionado, if I may say. Your quiz master for the grand finale of AMICUS CURIAE. Please welcome, join your hands for Raghav Chakravarti.
Thank you, Sautik, for a generous introduction. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you to the grand finale of AMICUS CURIAE. Yeah, again, a hearty welcome to all of you. I think we're ready to start off our grand finale of AMICUS CURIAE, a journey that started about 6 months back when we conducted the online preliminary rounds across India, and we had over 1,000 lawyers who participated, followed by the regional rounds. And now, in each of the regional rounds, the top 2 winners of each of the regional rounds are here to battle it out, to see who the crown of the grand finale of AMICUS CURIAE is going to be. Right? And just to give you all a snapshot of how the regional rounds I went through, here is a quick video for all of you. Just give us a second, and I think, yeah. So we've had 2 winners from each of the zones, and totally 8 winners here with us. Who will battle it out in the grand finale. A heartfelt thank you for the 14 senior advocates who thought it fit to conduct a quiz to celebrate the 75th anniversary of India's Constitution. Really thank you for each of the senior advocates who made this happen. We are ready with the video, and we are good to start. Okay, so in the meanwhile, I think I'll use this time to invite on stage the, there is always a small kind of glitch that kind of, takes the wind, but I think we'll just get that sorted as we start off the grand finale. In no particular order. Yeah, if you're just getting the video. Yeah, I think the video is ready. You can take a quick snapshot of how the final of the regional rounds in each of the cities went through.
So on that note, I think we are ready to call out, and a huge thank you. I think they deserve a huge round of applause for graciously supporting such an initiative. Mr. Arvind Dattar, Chandra Uday Singh, Dama Sheshadri Naidu, Husaifa Ahmadi, Jaideep Gupta, Madhvi Diwan, Meenakshi Arora, Nakul Diwan, Raju Ramchandran, Rana Mukherjee, Rebecca John, Sanjay Hegde, Siddharth Luthra, and S. Muralidhar sir. So all of them, thank you so much. I think a huge thank you for media partner for the quiz, LiveLaw, who's covering the quiz, and there is also a live stream of the quiz happening presently. And our supporting partners, National Foundation for India and Reclaim Constitution. In fact, they're here right outside. You can print your own preamble, so I urge all of you to go check it out. And the quiz partners being Q Shala, our team. We're good to start with our grand finalists. Please put your hands together for the finalist teams who will come up on stage. The winners and the runner-up from each of the regional rounds. Please give it up for the South Zone winners. Can we have Pranav Ravikumar, Raghuram Kadambi, and Pratik Chadda on stage, please? Borko Toki, if you can please come forward and take your place. These are our East Zone runners-up. In fact, they've traveled all the way from Guwahati to be here. Moving on to our next zone, the West Zone winners. Can we please give it up for Sachin S. Panikar and Jayant Karn. They've traveled all the way from Goa to be in the finals today.
And our next runner-up team from the West Zone, please give it up for Subhajit Chakrabarti, Brajendu Bhaskar and Arun Kumar. Can we have a huge round of applause for them, please? The next team to come up on stage is a quiz that we did 2 weeks back, the North Zone round. Please give it up for the North Zone joint winners, Pranjal Kishore, Mukund P. Unni and Manish Tiwari. A huge round of applause for them. In fact, we had a joint winners making it to the grand finale. And our last of our finalists, please put your hands together for Kartikeya Agarwal, Shwab Chakravarti and Ankur Agraj. So a huge round of applause for our finalists.
Right, so we are ready with our finalists on stage. We'll do a quick round of introductions of each of the teams and also get their mics tested as we do this. We've already tested, but just to get everything's in point. So if you can introduce yourself to the audience about your name, what you do, that'll be great. So please go ahead.
Hi, I'm Pranav Ravikumar. I am a lawyer by education, but currently I don't practice. I work as an independent policy and a political consultant.
Hi, I'm Raghuram Kadambi. I'm an advocate practicing in Bangalore.
Hi, I'm Prateek Chadha. I'm an advocate practicing in Delhi.
Right, so those are South Zone, team. In fact, I think Prateek is a graduate from NLS, so that was one of the, reasons why we got them as part of the criteria for domicility. So team 2, over to you to introduce.
Hello, I'm Ankur Agraj and I am a practicing lawyer in Delhi.
Hi, I'm Kartikeya. I'm a practicing capital markets lawyer at Sri Merchant Mangaldas.
Hello everyone, my name is Shwab Chakrabarti. I work with Kartikeya at Sri Merchant as well.
So we have 2 corporate lawyers and an advocate of the Supreme Court. So a huge round of applause for them on team 2. Team 3, our West Zone winners. Over to you.
I'm Jayant Karn. I practice in Goa.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sachin Panikar. I'm a master's student at Goa University.
A huge round of applause for our West Zone winners who are our Team 3. Moving on to Team 4, our East Zone winners. Over to you.
Hello, my name is Arpan Banerjee. I'm an intellectual property lawyer. I consult online for 2 American companies.
Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Jhuma Sen. I practice at the Calcutta High Court.
Hi, I'm Gaurav Dasgupta. I'm a partner at the Calcutta office of Khatar & Company in the real estate and commercial laws.
So wonderful. On Team 4 is a team from the East Zone. Now for Team 5. Over to you all.
Hi, I'm Shwajit Chakravarti. I'm the Associate General Counsel for a life sciences company called Revity.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Brajendu. I'm a capital markets lawyer at Legal.
Hi, I am Arun, and I'm a law officer with Reserve Bank of India.
So wonderful. We have in-house counsels from the law firm and from RBI on Team 5. Wishing you all the very best. Moving on to Team 6.
Good evening. I'm Titikya Borkotoki. I'm pursuing my PhD from IIT Kharagpur.
Hello everyone. My name is Ashwin Kumar Sharma. I'm also pursuing my PhD from IIT Kharagpur.
So legal researchers from IIT Kharagpur on team number 6. Moving on to team 7.
Good evening everyone. I am Manish. I practice in Delhi.
Mukund P. Unni. I am a practicing advocate in Delhi.
Evening. My name is Pranjal. I am a lawyer in Delhi.
So practicing advocates from Delhi on team 7. Wishing you all the very best. And now perhaps the team which has traveled the most to be here in the grand finale. Over to team 8.
Good afternoon. My name is Ramakrishnan. I practice at the Kerala High Court and also teach as a guest lecturer at Cochin University.
Good afternoon all. My name is Jis John Sebastian. I practice with Kerala High Court.
Good afternoon. I'm Harris. I'm currently working as assistant professor in law college. I'm from Trivandrum.
So wonderful. Can we have a huge round of applause for team 8? And these were our grand finalists. I think amongst 1,000 lawyers, the top 8 teams are here. We are ready to roll with our finals. So for an introduction to the teams, what will be the structure of today's final? So here it comes. Firstly, what's at stake for today? So the grand finalists here, the winners of our Amicus Curiae quiz, will go home with 1 lakh rupees cash prizes. The runner-up goes home with 75,000 rupees cash prizes, and the second runner-up with 50,000 rupees cash prizes. So this is what's at stake at the grand finale, and they all get very interesting goodie bags with signature and special edition stamps of the Constitution as prizes. Now for the structure of the quiz. 5 rounds of quizzing in our grand finale. Round 1 is a Popuri round, a mixed bag of questions, and round 2 is a listed, and I'll come to each of the rules and what they consist of, and we get there. And last 3 rounds, all of it will be on the buzzer, right? So that's broadly an overview of the finals today. And I think now we are ready to start off with our grand finale with the first question of the quiz. Can we wish all the finalists the very best? Here is the first question. That's just our cutie, a mascot from Q-Shala wishing you all the best as well. So here is Popuri round. I'll explain all of it. So on Popuri, there are 8 questions on infinite bounds. For the purpose of the audience, infinite bounds works like this. If let's say question goes to team 1 and team 1 passes, goes to team 2, team 2 answers it right, the next question will bounce to team 3. Infinite bounds for all of this round. We go clockwise from team 1, plus 20 for a direct or a pass, no negatives on the direct and pass, so therefore go ahead and work out answers and guess answers. There is a bounce of plus 20, which is within the first 10 seconds of me reading out a question. If any team here wants to take a crack at the answer, you can raise your hand and indicate to me that you're pouncing. And then you will write down the answers in the sheet of paper provided to you, and I'll go check it. If you get it right, you get a plus 20. If you get it wrong, you get a minus 20. We have this pounce only because many times in a quiz what happens is I would be on team 7 and I still would know the answer, but I might not get the chance to answer it when it goes on a pass. So here somebody has an opportunity. If they know the answer, they can pounce and still get an opportunity. It's a fair ground for all the teams, right? So we are good to start with the first question here up on the screen. One of India's foremost lawyers, Nani Palkiwala's statement on whether the income tax department could tax something in 1979, and quote, "The finance ministry should accept with grace the position that it is not entitled to any bite of the monies which are to go to the poorest of poor. To drive the matter to litigation would be an act of national disgrace. The law is not asinine enough to seek to tax something which is a token of humanity's gratitude." What was this controversy regarding, or what specific issue was noted lawyer Nani Palkiwala arguing in front of the court, right? Whether income tax should be levied on something or not, right? That's question number 1. Anyone pouncing, please raise your hands now. Okay, so no teams chooses to pounce, right? And 3, 2, 1, I close pounce. Direct is to team 1, over to you all. Any guesses?
We'll say charitable donations or hundis.
Whether charitable donations can be taxed or
Okay,
not.
I need a specific answer on this. So it's a cue for all of them.
Hindu religious endowments.
Okay, so Hindu religious endowments is their answer. Moving on to team 2. Joint winners of our Delhi zone. Any answers from you folks?
We think token of humanity's gratitude would be PDS system and water, and that's something government wanted to tax at that time, but Nani Palkiwala was against it.
Very good thinking. Not quite. Moving on to team 3. Our West Zone winners. There are clues in the question. You just need to catch some of these. Any guesses? Choose to pass? Moving on to team 4, if you guys have any guesses. Use the mic.
Was this the grant given to the people for Nazbandi?
Good thinking, not quite. Moving on to team 5. Team 5, since it's a pass, I'm going to be a little quick.
No, we'll say these are the monthly payments which are made under welfare schemes for certain marginalized section of the society.
Got it. Moving on to team 6.
We will say like the donations come to the Tirumala Tirupati Devastham.
Donations to Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. T7. Any guesses?
Income to farmers.
Income to farmers. Team 8.
So we'll guess donations to Golden Temple.
To Golden Temple. Yeah. All very good quality answers in the grand finale. Anyone in the audience who want to take a crack at it? This specific, and I'll tell you what, the key that I think I didn't stress so much was 1979. And I have one hand going up here. Sanjay Hegde sir, if you want to take a crack at it, can we have the mic very quickly given to Sanjay Hegde sir for an answer? 1979 was the big clue for you to work out. Absolutely right. This is the Nobel Peace Prize winnings of given to Mother Teresa and whether it had to be taxed or not. That was the question. So hard luck, but a very good answer. Can you have a huge round of applause for Sanjay Hegde sir for a good crack there, right? And Nani Pakiwala actually argued this case in the courts. So since no one got it right, it'll come back to team 1, right? But 2 consecutive questions, I move on. Next question coming up on the screen for all of you. I'll move away so that all of you can see the screen and I'm not blocking your view. Right, so let me read out this question. A famous personality looked after Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's elder brother, Vittalbhai Patel, during his last days. In fact, Vittalbhai Patel included this personality as a beneficiary in his will, believing that he would use the money for the freedom struggle. However, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in fact contested the will in the Bombay High Court, challenging the decision and ultimately won the case. Who was the famous defendant in this case relating to devolution of property of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's brother? The interesting question was, one of the beneficiaries of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's brother, Vittalbhai Patel, was another gentleman. So who was the defendant in this case? I think I gave a clue there. So one team has pounced. 3, 2. Pouncing teams, raise your hands now so that I know. 1. I close pounce. I quickly check the answer of team 3. I've seen their answer. Direct twist to team 1. Over to you folks.
We'll say Jinnah.
You're saying Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Good guess. Moving on to team 2.
So Jinnah was our guess too, so now we'll go with...
Robbed of your guess. Put you in a spot. But I need an answer.
H.V. Kamath.
H.V. Kamath. Team 3 went for a pounce. Team 4. Any guesses? If you use the mic, please.
Just a wild guess, Gopal Godse.
Gopal Godse. Moving on to team 5.
We'll say Abanindranath Tagore.
Abanindranath Tagore. Team 6.
We will say K.M. Munshi.
K.M. Munshi. Team 7. Any guesses? You choose to pass. Team 8. Kerala team.
B.R. Ambedkar.
B.R. Ambedkar. Good classy guess. Again, looks like a little bit of a volley of the questions in the first round. Anyone in the audience? I have somebody there. Raise your hand. So if you can introduce yourself and give out the answer, that will be great. If you can pass the mic to the gentleman. If you can switch on the mic. Or shout it out. You're saying the answer is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and in fact, he fought a case with Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on the devolution of property. Fantastic answer. Fantastic answer. right? And this was a contested issue in the in the Bombay High Court as well. Very good answer there. And we have Team 3 who got that right. They got that right on the pounce. So Team 3, the team from Goa are really cracking that. This is Subhash Chandra Bose. Moving on to the next question from the round. Since you got 2 direct, I move to Team 2. Your direct coming up on the screen. Here it comes. Justice Kailash Nath Vanchu served as the 10th Chief Justice of India from April 1967 to 1968. He authored 355 judgments, primarily adjudicating cases relating to labor law, property law, and constitutional matters. Interestingly, what record does Justice Kailash Nath Vanchu does he hold as a Chief Justice of India? There's something very interesting, a record of sorts that Justice Kailash Nath Vanchu holds. So teams which are pouncing, please raise your hand now. I see 3 teams pouncing, right? 3, 2, and 1. I close pounce. I have 4 teams here which have pounced. So very quickly check your answers. Okay. Okay, so I've seen their answers as well. So I have just to check their answer once. Okay, right. I've seen their answers. Sorry, right. So I've seen all the pounce answers. Direct to Team 2. Over to you all.
Yeah. He was in the minority, so he holds the record to be in the minority of judgments, the most minority judgment as Chief Justice of India.
Oh, very interesting guess. Unfortunately not. Moving to Team 3.
We'll probably take a guess that it's opposite. It's that he gave no dissent.
He gave no dissent. I think that has a different kind of an infographic. Moving on to Team 4.
Did he pass away while in office?
Okay, he passed away while in office. Not quite. And all the teams on the other side of the auditorium went for pounces. So anyone in the audience... Oh, wait. So Team 1, I think I didn't take a guess from you folks.
Most constitution bench judgments.
Most constitutional bench judgments. Good quality answers. So no one taking a crack here. So I have a lady here wants to take a crack at it. If you can just quickly hand over the mic to her to give out the answer. So we have 1 person in each wing. So please be a little alert when a team or audience member raises hands.
He was the only CGI holding a non-law degree.
First CGI of India who was not a law graduate. That's the answer I was looking at. Very good answer. In fact, he was an ICS officer, right? If you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Anmol. I'm representing LiveLaw here.
Fantastic. Our media partner here, right? So this is the first Chief Justice of India who, in fact, I think the only also, to hold the record of being the first non-lawyer CJI, right? So can I have teams which raised your hand, please, just for my reference. 20 points to Team 5, 20 points to Team 6, 20 points to Team 7, unfortunately a minus 20 for Team 8, right? So that was the guess that I had. Now for the next question, since it goes back to Team 2, your direct coming up. Scoring, we are good? Okay. So next question. Right. So let me run this. There's a video. So take a look at this video. When this movie was playing in theaters at the end, a voice over went as follows. The management of this theater suggests that for the greater entertainment of your friends who have not yet seen the picture, you will not divulge to anyone the secret of the ending of this movie. It is speculated that the actress in the film, despite her incredible showing, may not have lost out, or she lost out on an Oscar purely because of the studio's unwillingness to campaign for her, lest they inadvertently give away the ending. Which film is this? So I'm going to play that, that announcement for all of you to take a...
Of a series of climaxes that I defy you to guess.
You'll talk about this picture all right, but you'll never tell the ending to your friends, because you won't want to spoil their excitement and their fun.
Right, so that's the question. Teams which are pouncing, please raise your hands now. No, don't worry about the blank. Don't worry about the blank, it's just a Quizmaster quirk. Kindly don't think of how many blanks the movie's name were included, not quite. So just don't go by that, it's just a blank. Right? Teams which are pouncing, please raise your hand now. 3, 2, 1. I have only one team which pounced. So team 4, if I can quickly check your answer. Okay, so I've seen their answer. And the direct was to team 2. Team 2? Any guesses?
We'll play it safe. To Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird. Team 3?
Erin Brockovich.
Erin Brockovich. Moving on to team 5.
We'll say witness for the prosecution.
They say Witness for the Prosecution. One of the most classic legal movies of our time. That is the right answer. Very good. So this is Witness of the Prosecution, and the actress was Marlene Dietrich. And this is like one of the most, I would say, classic kind of trial that happened. I thought we'll just play this video.
You are registered, are you not, under the National Health Insurance Act?
Aye, that's so. 4 and 6pence are paid every week. Oh, that's a terrible lot of money for a working woman to pay.
I am sure that many agree with you. Now then, Miss Mackenzie, did you recently apply to the National Health Insurance for a hearing aid?
For what?
My lord, I must protest against the manner in which this question is being put. I will repeat the question, my lord. I asked you in a normal tone of voice audible to everyone in open court, did you apply to the National Health Insurance for a hearing aid?
Yes, I did.
Did you get it?
No, not yet.
However, you state that you walked past a door which is 4 inches of solid oak. You heard voices, and you are willing to swear that you could distinguish the voice of the prisoner, Leonard Vole. No further questions.
Right, so mastery in, trial
Maybe you
lawyering
could help
there.
me, your lordship. 6 months ago, I applied for my hearing aid, and I'm still waiting for it.
My dear Miss Mackenzie, considering the rubbish that is being taught nowadays, you are missing very little. You may stand down now.
Okay, so that is Witness for the Prosecution. Just to give you a snippet from the movie, they got it right. Is Team 5, and Team 4 also cracked it on the pounce. So good 20 points for them on the pounce as well. Well done. A classic movie. I think every lawyer should kind of watch it. Right. Next question coming up on the screen is to Team 6, your direct. Team pounces are open, so please be sharp. Here is the next question. Right. On February 10th, 2006, Anchal in Kerala's Kollam district was shaken by a brutal crime. Santhamma returned home to find her daughter Rajni and 17-year-old twin granddaughters murdered, their throats slit. Kerala police identifying 2 suspects, Devil Kumar and Rajesh, army personnel from Pathankot, but they vanished, leaving the case cold for nearly 2 decades. Reopened in 2023, the case led to their conviction. What specifically helped trace them and solve this sensational triple murder case? Right? So, very rather interesting case. What was so special way in which after close to about like 20 years or so, right? About 20 years, that finally the accused were convicted and so on. Right? So anyone taking a pounce on this? Okay, I have Team 3, which is pounced, Team 1, which is also pounced, Team 4, 3, 2, 1. I close pounce. I quickly check their answers just so that so I've seen their answers. Okay. So I've seen both, all the 3 teams who have pounced their answers, and the direct was to Team 6.
I think they took the help of Google Maps. Like they were recorded. These two persons were recorded in Google Maps. Well, when the Google Maps, it was surveying.
So, oh wow, you're saying that Google Deep View or whatever that survey Street View,
Yes.
and they were recorded there, and that's how. Sensational answer, right? Team 7.
So basically, I think artificial intelligence was used to, like a reverse image search, from the images that they had back in the day, that was used now to actually get who the people are. So artificial image search, artificial intelligence.
So artificial intelligence was used that after about 18-15 years, how would these people look like? And then it's crawled through the internet and found a match on a Facebook post of the accused, and then they were able to track them using AI to solve the conviction after 18 years. That's the answer we were looking for. Very, very good answer. Very good answer. Recently, they used AI very innovatively kind to solve the case in Kerala. So that's the answer we were looking for. Team 7, good 20 points. Well done. So teams which bounced, if you can quickly raise your hands for my benefit, right? So team 4, 20 points. Team 3, 20 points. A minus 20 for team 1. They had another interesting guess, but not quite so in this case. Next question. Since team 6 answered it, team 7 answered it. Team 8, your direct coming up on the screen. Here is the next question. Sorry, my bad. I think I'll move off so that you guys all have a good view to answer. So Hardinge Stanley Gifford, first Earl of Dash, served thrice as Lord Chancellor of Great Britain. He was one of the judges of the House of Lords, which took up the landmark case of Solomon versus Solomon Co. Limited, where corporate personality, etc. were enumerated. He's famously known to lawyers, though, for a project he undertook on the insistence of Stanley Shaw Bond, editor at Butterworth's, in 1907. How do we better know him is the question, right? So teams which are pouncing, please raise your hand now. So I have team 4, team 2 and team 1 which has pounced. 3, 2, 1. I close pounce. I quickly check your answers. Okay. I saw your answers. Now the direct was to team 8. So he was one of the judges in the famous Solomon versus Solomon case, but we all know him in another context.
We'll pass.
You choose to pass. Team 1 pounds, team 2 pounds, team 3.
Some book on arbitration. He wrote a book on arbitration.
He wrote a book on arbitration. Team 4 pounds, team 5.
We'll say he was the Earl of Hansard, and that's how we get Hansard as the repository of all the English law cases and things like that.
So if you can repeat that.
Hansard, H-A-N-S-A-R-D. Hansard is the repository of the English law cases, acts, judgments and all of that. So he was the first Earl of Hansard.
Okay, moving on to team 6.
I think so. He was the first Earl of Oxford and might be involved in the Oxford Dictionary because of Butterworth.
Good thinking. Team 7.
Earl of Viscount. Viscount is what I'm
Viscount is what you're thinking. And team 8, it was your direct, right? Anyone in the audience? Yes, sir. Earl of Halsbury, and that's how we have the famous Halsbury series of English laws. My heart really is goes out to team 5. I think you got the name wrong, I'm guessing, right? These are the Halsbury laws. And the whole collection of laws of England as a series that came out, right? To use Earls of Halsbury. Now, teams which pounds, if you can raise your hand for my benefit, 20 points to team 1 and 20 points to team 4 who cracked it on the pounds. Unfortunately, a minus 20 for team 2. Right? Well done, all of you. These are the Halsbury series of laws. Next question coming up on the screen, all of you, and the direct is to team 8. Here it comes. An Ode to Waris Shah by Amrita Pritham is a poem written describing the catastrophic costs of the partition in Punjab. The following lines is a quote from a a poem were aptly quoted by the then presiding judge of the Delhi High Court in a landmark conviction in 2018. Whom did the judgment convict or for what? So either you tell me either parts. I'll play the video for the benefit of all of you. So this poem was quoted in the judgment.
ਦਿੱਤਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਲਾ ਇਸ ਜ਼ਰਖੇਜ਼ ਜ਼ਮੀਂ ਦੇ ਲੂ ਲੂ ਫੁੱਟਿਆ ਜ਼ਹਿਰ ਗਿਟ ਗਿਟ ਚੜੀਆਂ ਲਾਲੀਆਂ ਫੁੱਟ ਫੁੱਟ ਚੜਿਆ ਕਹਿਰ ਵਿਹੂ ਵਲੀਸੀ ਵਾਹ ਫਿਰ ਵਣ ਵਣ ਵਗੀ ਜਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਂਸ ਦੀ ਵੰਜਲੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਨਾਗ ਬਣਾ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਡੰਗ ਮਦਾਰੀਆਂ ਮੰਤਰ ਗਏ ਗਵਾਚ ਦੂਜੇ ਡੰਗ ਦੀ ਲੱਗ ਗਈ ਜਣੇ ਖਣੇ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਗ ਨਾਗਾ ਕੀਲੇ ਲੋਕ ਮੂੰਹ ਬਸ ਫਿਰ ਡੰਗ ਹੀ ਡੰਗ ਪੱਲੋ ਪੱਲੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਨੀਲੇ ਪੈ ਗਏ ਅੰਗ
Right. So the opening lines of the poem was quoted, right? Teams who are pouncing, please raise your hand now. 3, 2, pouncing? Please raise your hand properly. 3, 2, 1. I close pounce. I have 4 teams which is pouncing. I'll quickly check your answers. I've seen their answer and you guys also had pounced. Okay. And I have seen, okay. I saw what I have to see, right? So teams, I've seen their pounce answers. There is a direct to team 8.
GN Sai Baba, professor.
GL Sai Baba, the professor, and the judgment relating to the bail being provided to him. Moving on to team 3.
The Hashimpura massacre, the Hashimara or Hashimpura massacre.
Okay, got it. Not quite. Team 5.
We'll take the Alan Davis guess. We'll say this is the anti-Sikh riots in Delhi.
I will use my discretion because I'd asked for what as well. I'll give it to you. That's the riots of 1985, the anti-Sikh riots, and the conviction of Sajjan Kumar, right? So, and the reason why I think this question also kind of comes here is the presiding judge of the Delhi High Court then was Justice Muralidhar sir. So that was quoted in the judgment. And he's here as well. So I thought if it goes to the audience, you can get a prize from sir. Right? So yeah, this is the 1984 Sikh riots, and Sajjan Kumar, who was the conviction was upheld by the Supreme Court recently as well. Right. So moving on to the next question. Oh, points. Sorry. All the teams went up in arms. Right. So I think they're all keeping track. 20 points to team 1, 20 points to team 2, 20 points to team 4. Right? All of them cracked it. And team 7, thanks for noting me, team 7 also cracked it with 20 points. Right? And you folks got it right, and you get on direct 20 points. Team 5 gets it on a direct. Right? So this is the answer we were looking for. The next question coming up on the screen, all of you, I'll move away from the screens here so that you can take a look at the question. An important element of our constitution was based on the recommendations of diplomat Badruddin Fayez Tyabji, grandson of former Congress President Badruddin Tyabji, and his wife Suraya Tyabji. To bring this to life, Dinanath Bhargava, a first-year fine arts student at Shantiniketan, whose photo you would see on the slide, and a disciple of Sri Nandalal Bose, spent 3 months at Alipur Zoo, Calcutta, closely studying and observing before illustrating it for the Constitution. What did he illustrate in the original copy of India's Constitution? In fact, we have an original copy of the India's Constitution also placed at the Reclaimed Constitution counter. So, what got illustrated this way? What's the story behind this? Teams which are pouncing, please raise your hand now. Right, it is let me give it this one. Direct is to team 6. Right, team 6. Teams who are pouncing, please raise your hand now. 3, 2, 1. Please keep it raised so that I know that you are going for a pounce and I need to take your answers. Okay, so I've seen their answers and you guys also pounced, right? Okay, so I have seen their answer as well, right? And the direct was to team... no, I've seen it once. So team 6, what's your guess? Please say it out to the audience.
So it's the national emblem on the constitution. So he asked Nandal Bose to go and see tigers in Alipur Zoo, and this is how he got an idea in 3 months to design the national emblem on the front of the constitution, the main covered page.
But what is there in the emblem?
The lions. The
lions! That's the right answer! The national emblem of our India, and as illustrated in the original constitution, it is believed that Mr. Dinanath Bhargava went and over 3 months he observed the different characteristics of a lion to come up with the national emblem which is there on the original constitution of India. So that's the right answer. I think a huge round of applause for him for getting that right. Team which pounced, quickly raise your hands. Right? No. There is, you don't know whether who got the answer pounce right. So 20 points to team 8, 20 points to team 7, 20 points to team 4, 20 points to team 3, 2 gets a minus 20. They went for another answer, right? They went with the national animal of India, but not quite in this case, right? So this is the Ashoka's lion capital, and all of you can go see the copy of the original constitution outside as well. So that's our 8 questions of our Popuri round, and now, right? So listed is coming up on round 2, right? So I'll explain how the round works. 8 questions in all. 9 options appear on the screen. 6 of them are correct. You need to choose 6 to get points. So there are, all of them have a theme, and you need to identify 6 right elements out of the 9 elements that are shown. Teams get 5 points on getting every right answer, but they all are seasoned with the sense that we have done it in the regional round. Even if you get one answer wrong, you lose all the points that you've gotten. So play it carefully. We go anti-clockwise and we start with team 8. I think we are ready. In fact, what I'll do is, for the benefit of all the teams, I'll walk out of the stage so that you have a clear view of the screen as I ask the question. So teams, if you're all ready, we start off anti-clockwise with team 8. And before that, I think I'll run a quick one to the audience to give you an example of how this round would work. So for example, if I were to show you a grid with 9 elements and say constitutional bodies of India, and I have these options, what would you go for? So anyone wants to take a crack at it? Right? Yeah, so you have one answer here. Over to, if you can introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Anand. The constitutional bodies are the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, for Scheduled Castes, the Union Public Service Commission. Oh, I got it wrong there, it seems. Election Commission of India.
So you go one after the other.
Oh, okay, right. National Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes both.
Okay.
The Comptroller and Auditor General.
Comptroller, Auditor General.
The Finance Commission.
The Finance Commission.
Election.
You would have gotten 20 points.
Election Commission of India.
Election Commission of India.
Union Public Service Commission.
And he has a full house. So please give it up for Anand. So if you can introduce yourself as well.
My name is Anand. I'm an advocate practicing in Delhi.
So advocate practicing in Delhi gets all of it right. So very good answer. So this is 30 points. So how Anand answered it, in case if you get even one wrong in the middle, they lose all the points. So you can always stop the game if you think these are all, probably you know only 4 options, you can say we close the game. But you have 1 minute to answer. I think we are ready. Team 8, your direct coming up on the screen. Right? So get ready. Question number 1. And I request the teams, please speak on mic. 1, 2. Kindly say go when you're going for it so the team knows that that is what they need to lock. Okay? So all the very best. The first of our listed questions on the screen coming up now. Countries that explicitly follow have cited the basic structure doctrine. So case laws from these countries have explicitly, in fact, cited our Keshananda Bharati case and follow the basic structure doctrine. Team 8.
Israel.
Go Israel.
Go Israel. 5 points.
Go Cyprus.
Cyprus. 10 points.
12 points.
So you got Israel and Cyprus, I think the harder ones. And you want to take you have 10 more minutes, 10 more seconds. You want to go for it or you want to 5 seconds more?
We'll go India.
Of course, right? Of course, the one that really was the one I kept nudging them about that. Okay, 15 points, right? Okay, so sometimes under pressure, the easiest one is the most difficult to spot, right? So 15 points on that. Now, for no points, if you want to quickly take a crack at the others, for no points.
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Singapore.
Singapore would have been wrong.
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh is right. And just last one.
Uganda.
Uganda is also interestingly right. And we found that to be very interesting. So this is countries that are explicitly have cited the basic structure doctrine. So 15 points to Team 8. Well played. Moving on to Team 7. Your direct coming up. Get ready in your set of questions. States with a legislative council. Or follow the bicameral legislature format in the states with the upper house and the lower house. Yeah. Team 7.
So, okay, we'll start with Karnataka.
5 points.
We'll go on to Maharashtra.
Maharashtra, 10 points.
UP.
UP, 15. 15 seconds.
Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh.
That's all.
Okay, they were on the fence on that and now they don't want to take a risk. I think we can close the game there. For no points, if you want to take they got 20 points. 20 points. Well done. Right. And for... No, you want to take
It's over.
Yeah, now you can relax and answer. Yes.
Telangana.
Karnataka is already there. Telangana is their other guess. Yes.
And Bihar.
Bihar. Also right. So those would have been the right answers. So they had it in them, but they still wanted to take a calculated, risk-free kind of approach. That's fine as well. They got 20 points. Moving on to our team from Assam. You folks, your direct coming up. So ready? On the mic? Here it comes. Attorney Generals of India. Right?
We will go with Go M.K. Nambiar.
So, you want to start with?
M.K. Nambiar.
M.K. Nambiar. Oh, hard luck. Hard luck. I think the first question itself really kind of taking the wind out of them. But don't lose heart. If you want to take a crack for the others. MC Setalvad. I think the first one you should have gone for. 5 points. If you can use the mic, please.
Ashok Desai.
Ashok Desai.
Keshava Parasaran.
K. Parasaran.
T.R. Andhya Rujina.
Not quite as well.
And G. Ramaswamy.
G. Ramaswamy was?
1, 3, 3 left. On whom? SN.
SN Kakkad, yes. Oh, SN Kakkad isn't. So S.V. Gupta and Lal Narayan Sinha were the other ones. So a little bit of a heartburn there, but don't worry. So all the very best on that. Moving on to team 5. Let's get. So we have our guest of honor, Sir Kapil Sibba sir, gracing the occasion. Thank you so much for making to the quiz, sir. Next question coming up on the screen is to team 5. Your direct coming up now. Question number 4. Here it comes. Please use the mic now. States order to amend discriminatory, dehumanizing provisions of their jail manuals as per the recent judgment of Sukanya Shanta versus Union of India. They were discriminatory jail manuals. Recently, the Supreme Court struck down and ordered.
We'll start with Uttar Pradesh, please.
Uttar Pradesh, 5 points.
We'll try West Bengal as well.
You try West Bengal as well. Okay, 10 points. Now they are.
We'll pass it on. Thank you.
We'll pass it on. Thank you, is what they say. They are taking a calculated approach today. So good thinking. But not for points. They get 10 points in their kitty. Well done. Right? Now for no points if you want to take a crack.
We would have said Madhya Pradesh.
You would have said Madhya Pradesh.
Karnataka maybe.
Okay.
Rajasthan and Assam. Okay.
Rajasthan. Okay, so
J&K, I guess.
let's go to J&K. Is there other guess? No. Right? Just between Kerala and Telangana? Telangana. Right? So no, it was on Kerala. So those were the recommendations from the court. Right? So the next one going up to team 4 from the eastern zone of Calcutta. Here comes your direct. Please use the mic when you answer. Now. Books written by Falius Nariman.
God save the Honorable Supreme Court.
God save the Honorable Supreme Court. 5 points.
You must know your constitution.
You must know your constitution. 10 points.
Beyond the courtroom.
Beyond the courtroom. Reflections on law, constitution. Correct? You just want to end? Last 5 seconds or so left. Right? Okay. They got 3 right. And I think 15 points for team 4. I think well played. A good round of applause for them. Well played. Now for no points, you want a quick guesses? India's legal system. Can it be saved as right? Okay, next couple of guesses. Right? Any more guesses? The delightful Mr. Daftari is also right. In fact, the very interesting, stories about Mr. Daftari, who was a very interesting caricaturist also. Right? Any other? Okay, so I think constitutional questions in India was wrong. How India became a republic, not quite. Harmony amidst disharmony, the international framework was the other one. In fact, we just played it a little more. Most of the other wrong answers were written by Mr. Rohinton Nariman, right? Just as a way to kind of give you on. Okay, so moving on to the next one is Team 3, your direct, and you folks got 15 points. Team 3, your direct coming up. Question number 6. Former and serving Indian judges in the international courts and tribunals, right? So,
go Dalvir Bandari.
Justice Dalvir Bandari.
Go B.N. Rao.
B.N. Rao.
Go Justice Raghunandan Swarup Pathak.
Justice R.S. Pathak.
Go Justice Nagendra Singh.
Justice Nagendra Singh. 20. You have 30 seconds. Breathe. Okay, last couple of seconds left. Okay, you want to close or you want to give the last guess? Okay, time's up. Okay, well played. I think they got 4 right. Now for no points, if you want to take quick guesses.
Chadda. Dr. Neeru Chadda.
Yes, I think Dr. Chadda was part of Law of Seas, the Tribunal for Law of Seas. Next.
Justice K.S. Radhakrishnan.
K.S. Radhakrishnan also, right? For the, I think the Court of Arbitration, I think the International Court of Arbitration, he's been one of the judges. So that's the answer we were looking for. So well played, 20 points. Next, coming up for Team 2. So your direct coming up. Ready? Please use the mic when you answer. Here it comes. Current members of the UN Security Council. Deep in thought is Team 2.
We'll start with Indonesia. Go Indonesia.
Go Indonesia. Oh. Hard luck. Indonesia is not part of the Security Council. At least they have a 2-year term, running 2-year term. Not quite. Hard luck, folks. Any other guesses that you want to quickly go for?
So now we'll go with famous countries. Australia.
Australia. Oh, okay. Looks like now Sierra Leone is in fact in it.
South Africa.
South Africa isn't. So in fact, if you're just kind of what we found interesting was the other countries who are actually part of the Security Council now. Pakistan, Somalia, Panama, Denmark and Algeria. But that was just to kind of, get to know, right? So next question to Team 1, your direct on the screen. The winners from the South Zone, your direct. Constitutional amendments struck down or partially invalidated by the Supreme Court of India. Any guesses? I request you to start giving out the answers so that you can...
NJAC.
NJAC.
Parliament can amend
And the
fundamental
National
rights.
Judicial Appointments Commission.
Parliament can amend fundamental rights.
Parliament can amend fundamental rights. Right? So, you got this one wrong, right? Constitutional amendment struck down or partially invalidated by the Supreme Court, right? So that was the thing. You can amend the fundamental rights in this one. Hard luck, team. Any more that you want to go for it now? Yeah?
9th schedule. Complete abolition of property.
So 9 schedule laws. Right?
9th schedule, Complete abolition of
complete abolition of right to property,
reservation, constitutional status,
right? So I think if you can give me one other.
right to fundamental education is wrong.
Right to.
That's wrong.
Right to education is a fundamental right. Yeah, that's right. So you could have actually worked out the other way, right? So what is principles of law? Looks like sometimes the pressure gets to them, but well played, team one, right? So those are questions of a listed round. Now we pick action with the last three rounds. I think about 30 minutes of the quiz remaining with a very fast-paced 3 rounds that will come up. So before we go there, we'll probably get the scores and some audience questions at this stage. So audience, if you think you know the answer, please raise your hand and introduce yourself and answer the question. Right. This Constituent Assembly member was one of India's finest tennis players and even played at the Wimbledon. Besides being elected to the Constituent Assembly, she was nominated to the Advisory Committee and Subcommittees of Fundamental Rights and Minorities. What we found absolutely interesting was she was also the niece of the famous Henry Golaknath of the Golaknath case, a missionary from Bengal and the famous petitioner in the landmark constitutional case of Golaknath versus Union of India. She was also the Times Magazine's Woman of the Year in 1947 when India got its independence. So which famous founding mother are we referring to? Right, so any guesses? Okay, so if you want to take a... Is this Sarojini Naidu? Good guess. Not quite. Yes, if you can go up right at the back, if you can introduce yourself as well as you guess the answer.
Lawyer. I think it's Amrit Kaur.
You think it is
Amrit Kaur.
Amrit Kaur? You're absolutely right. It is Rajkumari Amrit Kaur. Very good answer. Right? This is Rajkumari Amrit Kaur and also the niece of Henry Golaknath. Okay, next question. Yeah, your name was? Sayan. So Sayan, good answer there. So next question coming up for all of you. So identify this former Supreme Court judge who represented Andhra Pradesh in the Ranji Trophy, appeared as a policeman in the 1989 Bollywood film Kanun Apna Apna. I'll just play this one for you. So this is the... Okay, so a lot of names has come up.
तो हवाई जहाज ब्लास्ट हो सकता है। अरे मगर हमारे बैग में बम कैसे हो सकता है? हम अपने हाथ से तो सामान भरा है इसमें। अगर आपके बैग में बम नहीं है, तो इसको खोलने में इतराज क्यों? नहीं, हम नहीं खोलूंगा। देखो तुम लोग ऐसे चिल्लाओगे तो हम प्लेन में नहीं बैठेंगे, हम अपने घर चले जाएंगे। घर जाने से पहले अगर एयरपोर्ट पर धमाका हो गया तो ये सब क्या है? अरे ठहरिए अंगूठा छाप लीडर.
Okay, so for the benefit of everyone, so the person I'm referring to is, I'm just trying to get the screen. Okay, the policeman at the right hand corner there. Yeah, right. So yes, ma'am, if you can introduce yourself and get the answer.
I'm Priya Hingorani, and that's Justice Nageshwar Rao in the cap.
Fantastic answer. That is Justice Nageshwar Rao. For us, it's interesting that he was also a Ranji cricket player for Andhra Pradesh. Well done. So that's the right answer. And the next one is actually scores at this stage. So after 2 rounds of quizzing in our grand finale of AMICUS CURIAE, the scores. Right, so we switch screens. Just give us a moment as the transition happens to the screen. Okay, just give us a moment. We'll have the scores. Yeah, as the screen gets duplicated. Okay, so I'll probably read out the scores for the benefit of everyone at this stage. Yeah, after 2 rounds of quizzing, Team 1 is at 20. Team 2, I think they are gone topsy-turvy with some negatives and positives are at -20 at this stage. Team 3, well, it's stable at 80. Team 4, presently leading at 115. Team 5 at 70. Team 6 at 40. Team 7 at 100 points. And Team 8 at 15. So anybody's game, because we have close to 360 points at stake in the next couple of rounds. anybody's game. So we are ready with the buzzer round. As the team starts getting ready with the buzzers, I think if our buzzers are, just give us a moment. So we will get our buzzers. So all the buzzers are switched on. Just give us a moment. We'll quickly test our buzzers as well for the benefit of everyone. Hold on. We start with team 1, right? So let's get the buzzer tested, right? Just give me a second. Right, test the buzzers. So team 1, your buzzers are working. Team 2, your buzzers are working. Team 3, buzzers are working. It's working. Team 5, 1 minute, just hold on. Team 5, you can press the buzzer. Yes, working. 6 are working. Team 7, it's working. It's working. So team 5, I just turn the bulb a little so that you can, yeah, fantastic. All the buzzers are working. So let's refresh the buzzers, right? Yeah, so please not press the buzzer otherwise. When the question comes up, please buzz then. Now, for this round, we have 3 clues per question which will come up on the screen. If you get it right, on the first clue, you get plus 20, but a negative minus 15. Second clue, plus 15, but a minus 10 if you get it in the second clue, right? Third clue, plus 10 if you get it right, minus 5 if you get it wrong. 1 attempt per clue. So if anyone gives me a wrong answer, I close and I go to the next clue, right? So fingers on the buzzer, the first of our 3 clues round. Question number 1 coming up on the screen. Get ready, all of you. Question number 1. Her mother is a well-known academic and economist who founded the Center for Economic Studies and Planning at JNU. So team which has buzzed, actually none of you have buzzed now, okay? So none of you have gone for it, okay? Okay, just give us a second. Did you buzz? Okay, if you can press the buzzer. Okay, hold on. It's working, just a second. Somebody had switched on. So let's refresh the buzzers, right? Team 1, you guys had gone for it. They had pressed the buzzer, right? It's working, the buzzer working. Okay, so buzzer is working. So they had gone for it even before anyone had. So I'll give them a chance to go for an answer, and then I'll go to the next one. Any guesses? You've buzzed? Go ahead. Sudha Bharadwaj is the right answer. I'll give it to you, plus 15, right? So now because if they have buzzed, your buzzers would not have worked. That's the circuit breaker buzzer. Now let's refresh the buzzers, right? Plus 20, yeah? So if you hit the buzzer now. Okay, just press the buzzer once. It's working, right? So that's this one. If multiple people have pressed the buzzer at the same time, it would have gone for it. Your buzzer is also working. So this is Ms. Sudha Bharadwaj, famous lawyer. She was mentored by trade union leader Ambedkarite Gandhian Shankar Guha Niyogi, and actively worked for the marginalized communities through Chhattisgarh Mukti Morcha.
After so many years,
and her voice, and she was the vice president of the India Association of People's Lawyers. That's what we are looking for. So this is Sudha Bharadwaj. Good 20 points for team 4, right? Fingers on the buzzers, all of you. Question number 2 on the clue round coming up now. In 1981, the seeds of this institution were laid by Juan Antonio Samaranch. The statutes for this institution were established through a working group chaired by Judge Keba Mabaye at the International Court of Justice, Hague. Anyone? Seeds of an institution which we all came to know of, in fact, in the last year. Okay, yes, team 2 has gone for it. Use the mic.
International Criminal Court.
International Criminal Court is a minus 15. I refresh the buzzers, and move on to the next question. Its headquarters are in Switzerland, and its courts are in New York and Sydney. Decisions at this authority can be appealed. Now your buzzers did work, yes? I'll give it to you. That's the answer we're looking for. Right? So in August, this institution was in the public eye for many Indians owing to an adjudication. The sole arbitrator was Dr. Annabelle Bennett. And for what specific purpose? Anyone in the audience? Absolutely. So this was the appeal for, Ms. Pogart's this one. So that was the answer we were looking for. This is the Court of Arbitration for Sports, right? So good 15 points, right? You guys went on the second. 15 points for Team 7, right? Team 7, 15 points. Let's refresh the buzzers. All buzzers are refreshed. The next question coming up on the screen. Fingers on the buzzers, all of you. Here it comes. Question number 3. This famous lawyer was a jurist and a two-time, just a second. Yes, Team 6 has gone for it. Team 6 has gone for it. Relax. I don't decide. The signals decide. Yes. But you can't buy time now. I need an answer.
So like I will say MC Setalwar.
MC Setalwar is a minus 15, and I move to the next clue. 1 minute. Refresh the buzzers. Refresh the buzzers. Right? Refresh the buzzers. 1 minute. Team 4, you guys have gone for it. See, I'll tell you. Right? So it's buzzers. Take whoever presses the buzzer right after the refresh. So yes. Do we have an answer, Team 4? Okay, we refresh, 1 minute, we refresh the buzzers, we move on to the next clue, which is here, and Team 8 was the first one to buzz. And we have an answer right here. It's Kapil Sibal sir is the right answer. Very well done. Right? So I'll tell you, just hold on. Right. So I'll tell you. So usually right after that, we wait for a split second of refresh. Right? You got to wait for that. And at that time, anyone who has pressed the buzzer first is what it catches us. So I am not the arbiter of this. The signals are. Right? So I rely on that. It's probably a split second more that they probably answered. And you kept pressing, even they could be pressing it at that same time. Right? So that's fair for everybody because everybody is on the same buzzer set. Right? So that's the answer we were looking for. This is, of course, Kapil Sibal sir. And interestingly, he had qualified for IAS and he declined the offer. And this was a rendition, Raunak, of his poems by A.R. Rahman, which is made into a studio. So thank you so much for such a wonderful poetry that you have for Raunak. Give him a huge round of applause for sir. Right, so this is Kapil Sibal sir. Next question coming up. Right, so you got yourself 10 points for the last, right? Team 8 got 10 points on the last clue. 10 points on the last clue. So let's refresh the buzzers. Right? So 1 minute, let me explain. Team 6 gets a minus 15. And then Team 4 went for it. And they got themselves a minus 10. And then we had Team 8, which got a plus 10. Yeah? Cool? All of you? Next question coming up on the screen. Question number 4. Fingers on the buzzer now. She was the first woman in Indian history. Okay, Team 6 has gone for it, right? Was nominated as a member of the Rajya Sabha.
Rukmini Devi Arundale.
Rukmini Devi Arundale is a fabulous answer. Very, very good crack on the right first question itself. This is Rukmini Devi Arundale. She was offered to be the President of India twice, which she turned down, or else she would have been India's first woman president. As a member of the Rajya Sabha, she also was instrumental in passing the Prevention of Cruelty of Animals Act and setting up of the Animal Welfare Board of India. Right? She introduced the Montessori method in India, and she was very instrumental in the movement. She established Kalakshetra, the famous Kalakshetra Foundation for dance and music in Chennai. And it was also declared as an institute of national importance. So this is Rukmini Devi Arundale. Fabulous answer there. Very good crack right at the very first. Next, I think we have done with our 3 clues round. So the next question are all on the connect round. So I'll move very quickly to keep time. 8 questions in all. All elements in the question have a common theme or answer. All questions will be on the buzzer. Plus 20 for a correct answer. Minus 10 for a wrong answer. So it's a minus 10 negative. So keep an eye out. In this particular round, what I'm going to show is a set of images. All of them are connected by a theme. So if I were to show this to the audience, tell us what would connect all of these. Okay, so any guesses on what would connect all of these elements? Right, so we have one raised hand on that side. Let me go quickly and take an answer. Okay, yeah, if you introduce yourself and give out the answer as well.
My name is Kunal. I'll try the INA trials, maybe.
Something more connecting all of those elements. Okay, we have one more guess here.
Currencies, all of them had currencies issued by or with their name.
Good guess, currencies issued by them. We have one more guess from Kunal. Yeah?
The Red Fort INA trial specifically.
Okay, and you want to explain that?
So, I mean, that's the INA, this thing. I think that's probably Godse and somebody from but I'd guess that this trial happened at the Red Fort. That's Bahadur.
And what about 500 rupees note?
And the flip side might have.
That's right. So Red Fort is what we were looking for. The INA trials famously happened at the Red Fort. Bahadur Shah Zafar's, this one also happened at the Red Fort. That was Nathuram Godse, whose conviction happened at the Red Fort, and at the other rare side of the 500 rupee note, you have the Red Fort, right? So that's the kind of connections that we will see in this particular round. Praise yourself, teams. Fingers on the buzzer. First of our question coming up on the screen in the connection round now. Okay, we have first one to go for is Team 6. I need an answer now. You can't buy time after hitting the buzzer.
So my answer is they resigned because the superiors were nominated in the Supreme Court of India. These were the judges who were.
One attempt per question. Right? So they resigned.
Because of the superiority was not maintained, and the seniors most probably these three judges of Supreme Court of India resigned. And
okay, so they resigned is your answer. Unfortunately, a -10. Anyone in the audience? Okay, so some of you want to take, anyone else here who wants to take a crack at it? So we will, okay, so we have, lady here, if you can introduce yourself and give out the answer.
My name is Kiran Agarwal. I'm an advocate. And in US and India, what I can connect is procedure established by law and due procedure of law.
Good thinking. Not quite. Specifically with these judges is what I was looking at. Anyone here? Right at the back. Fantastic. So if you can please give the mic to the person at the back. You introduce yourself and answer.
I'm Nileshwar. I'm an advocate practicing in Delhi. All of them are Supreme Court judges, and they were in the United States, and they had a political background to before they entered judgeship.
Okay. Okay, something more specific is what I'm looking for. Good thinking, not quite. Okay, so I'll probably take the last guess from anyone here. Yeah, okay, so yeah, over to you. If you want to take a, here. If you can just introduce yourself and answer.
Yeah, hi. So I think, so Justice Taft became President of the United States. Justice Khanna then became Law Minister, etc. So I think after their respective judgeships, they had a position in government on the executive or administrative side.
Okay, so that is their guess. I can't give that answer because there's something more specific that I was looking for. We have, so Sanjay Hegde also wants to take a crack at it. Over to you, sir.
All of them contested for the presidency.
Absolutely right. So we had Justice K.V. Subbarao, Justice Krishna Iyer, and Justice H.R. Khanna who contested for the presidential election in India. So did the Justice William Howard Taft, who was a Supreme Court judge, who went on to become president, and Justice Charles Evans Hughes missed out by a whisker to Woodrow Wilson. Right? So all Supreme Court judges who contested in presidential election is the guess that we were looking for. Hard luck, -10 to team 6. Direct question coming up on the screens, all of you fingers on the buzzer. So that was the answer we were looking for. Question number 2. Now. Okay, yes, team 1, use the mic.
Inns of Court.
Explain.
Lincoln Inn, Temple, Middle Temple.
I will give it to you. Inns of Court in London. That's Gray's Inn, Middle Temple, and the Inner Temple. So that was the guess that we were going after. A little bit of a lexical connect there. The Inns of Court is a cracker of an answer. Plus 20 to Team 1. Next connection question coming up on the screen. Fingers on the buzzers, all of you. Look sharp. Here it comes. Oh, Team 8. Explain.
While in prison. This were the works written while they were incarcerated in a prison.
And? What about that? What about that? I'll use my discretion and I'll give it to you. Plus 20. But the connection we were actually looking for was prisoners. But since you said jail and jailers, I'll give it to you. Of course, all of these books were written in prison. Interestingly, that is the legislative house of Karnataka, Vidhan Soudha, where prisoners were used to actually build the Vidhan Soudha. And you know about Australia and New Zealand. And that is the famous economic game theory principle of prisoner's dilemma. Right? Prisoner's dilemma. And that's the connection we were looking for. So I'll give 10 points, 20 points, full 10, 20 points to Team 8. Right? So this were all prisoners broadly. And I'll give it to you since you came through with that connection. 20 points already. All buzzers are refreshed. Fingers on the buzzer. Next question. Question number 4 coming up now. Okay, Team 6 has gone for it. Team 6, I need an answer.
So, I will say H.M. Sirvai.
And explain why.
The only connect I know is the book written Partition of India, Legend and Reality by H.M. Sirvai.
So Partition of India, Legend and Reality. Dr. Wayne's critical commentary of the Australian Constitution inspired him to write the most celebrated constitutional commentary.
He was in the case of Keshwananda Bharati.
Keshwananda Bharati and came Nanavati case. That was the Rustum's video that we were playing. And Sirvai means lion-like. Okay. That's the guess that we were looking for. And Padma Bhushan. So that's the answer. So H.M. Sirvai, I think a huge round of applause for that answer. Very good guess. Plus 20. Right? And this is the blurb where Sirvai has written about how the Dr. Wayne's constitutional commentary of Australia inspired him to write such a thing for India. Right? Okay. Moving on to the next question. Fingers on the buzzers, all of you. Question number 5 on your screens now. Think and answer. Okay, so we have Team 8 who's gone for it. Plus 20 if you get it right, minus 10 if you get it wrong. Yes, I need an answer.
Bharat Ratna. Bharat Ratna.
Bharat Ratna. Not quite. Minus 10. Hard luck. Goes to the audience. Anyone wants to take a crack at it? Okay, anyone who wants to take a crack at it, I can probably identify some of them. But okay, we have here a gentleman who's answered before, but we'd love to get an answer. If you can use the mic and answer. Use the mic.
Hostels in maybe National Law School, Bangalore are named after them. Something like that.
So interesting quirk. I'll tell you what, you're a little close. Not IIT Kharagpur. So, all the national law universities. So that is Justice Hidayatullah, Ram Manohar Lohia, Rajiv Gandhi, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Ambedkar, and this is Damodar Sanjeevaya, who's the National Law University of Visakhapatnam, is named after him. So I think a very good answer. I'll give it to you. So very close by. So all national law universities are named after them. Okay, next question. A little bit of a tough one there, but a minus 10 to Team 8. I hope the scoring is through. Question number 6 coming up on the screen. Now, fingers on the buzzers, all of you. Okay, Team 8, I need an answer. Delhi Metro. Hard luck, minus 10 again to Team 8. I think you need to relax a little. Anyone in the audience who want to take a crack at it? Can work this out a little. Okay, yes, if you can introduce yourself and give out the answer, if you can please come forward, right, quickly, right, introduce yourself as well.
I'm Mayok. So is the Bhagavad Gita the connection? Because Bhagavad Gita's user training manual in Delhi Metro, that's the Gita Press Gorakhpur, top right.
Bhagavad Gita is an interesting answer today evening, but not quite on this. So a lot of people in the finalist teams want to take a crack at it now, right? But I'll perhaps, anyone in the audience wants to take a crack at last option? Then I'll probably go to one of them. Okay, you guys gave a last time answer. Let's go to team 2.
For some reason, we think it's the RBI.
RBI, okay? Because there is goddess Lakshmi there. Okay, but you got to just work it out a little.
Law firm names.
Names of?
Law firms.
You want to explain that?
Lakshmi Kumaran Sridharan, Trilegal. Sam. That is Sam.
Uncle Sam.
Sam. And that's AZB Partners. And that's the logo of Ketan Fans. So that's a little bit of a quirky one today. So these are all law firms names or law firms of India. So some of you are partners. Go back looking at your firms. Right? Okay, next question coming up on the screen. Question number 7. Last 2 questions of this round remaining now. Okay, team 8, I need an answer. You guys are going on a flash, but you need to give me an answer. Explain that.
That is Indian Coffee House.
Salt is a judgment in the Ekegobara case.
Okay.
And M.K. Dambiar was used basic structure in that case.
But he also, he used it in the Golaknath case, but he argued A.K. Gopalan, one of the most first constitutional case of India, so to say, and very famously, Justice Sir Syed Faisal Ali was the only dissenting judgment in that. So I'll give it to you. A.K. Gopalan case was State of Madras, was fantastic guess. So good 20 points for Team 8. They are just trying to dominate in the, not giving a chance to the others to think through this. Next question, last question of the connection round coming up. Question number 8. Fingers on the buzzers, all of you. Now.
And he's my dear friend. And then we sing a wonderful duet.
Okay, we have team 3 who's gone for it.
We are different.
I think it's Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because that's her book, My Own Words, that's all I correct. And I think the second one is, that's her in the outfit, that I just cracked it with that.
So that's a mantis named after Ruth Bader Ginsburg. My Own Words is a memoir. Very interestingly, there was a brewery company which came out. When a question was asked, how many women need to be in the Supreme Court of US, he said, when there are 9, a very famous reply, and that is on the basis on that. And this is notorious RBG, a meme that came out after this gentleman, rapper, notorious one. So that's the answer we will look at, and that voice. And she was also famously took part in operas, right, with Justice Scalia. So this is a
worked and are continuing to work is like throwing away your umbrella in a rainstorm because you are not getting wet. We will resume when you, Marie, and the birth certificate are all here.
Right, that's Ruth Bader Ginsburg, in fact, performing as part of an opera. So that's the answer we were looking for. Well done, and you get yourself good 20 points on that is Team 3. Okay, and we are now ready for the last round of the quiz, and about 5 to 10 minutes of the quiz remaining. So before we get to the audience questions, I think the teams want to take a breather, and we will get the scores up right after the audience questions. So the first of the audience questions coming up. This Guru Dutt's film's title is a reference to an act, one among a series of laws that sought to reform a certain area of legal importance. This statute was one of the few that were discussed during the Constituent Assembly legislative debates, though with little success, as only 3 of its 55 clauses were passed. Name the film, or tell us which act is referenced in the name of this mid-1950s film. So let me play a clip.
रेनकोट पहने रहना तहजीब के खिलाफ है। रेनकोट
इसे रहने दीजिए।
क्यों?
ये मैं आपको कैसे बताऊं?
क्यों, क्या बात है, बता।
मेरी पतलून की हालत कुछ।
रहने दो। कुंवारे हो अभी तक?
जी हाँ, भगवान की दया से।
और भगवान की दया से बेकार भी हो।
जी।
बहुत अच्छी, बैठ जाओ।
Okay, so that's a small clip from a 1955. Oh, we have a hand raised up there. If you can introduce yourself and give out the answer.
Yeah, I am Himanshu Yadav. I am a lawyer based in Delhi. So the answer is the Hindu Marriage Act, 1955.
Of Hindu Marriage Act of 1955. 55. And the name of the movie?
Name of the movie, I don't know, sorry.
Okay, so name of the movie, yes, right there. If you can introduce yourself and give out the answer.
Hi, this is Rucha. The name of the movie is Mr. and Mrs. 55.
Mr. and Mrs. 55. You can introduce yourself also, Rucha.
I am Rucha Pandey. I practice at the Supreme Court.
Fantastic. So those are two right answers. So this was in... Okay, so this is, Mr. and Mrs. 55. And this was actually done in, in fact, to kind of bring about awareness about the 1955 Act as a reform. So it was named Mr. and Mrs. 55 after the act of the Hindu Marriage Act. Right? Very good answer there. So I think we are ready. Team 3 had a request. They were like, I'm a little short and I want to stand. Is it okay? Absolutely. So go ahead. As long as your view does not affect the screen for the others. Right? So next, I think we are ready with scores. Or one more question. Right. A recent paper by Honest Shani and Rohit De highlights contributions from various groups across India, including princely states and tribal communities in the constitution making process. The paper mentions that there is only one instance where the Constituent Assembly substantially engaged with an external group. It is evident that the Constituent Assembly took the comments and proposals of these individuals seriously by holding special meetings and considering amendments based on their input. What group of individuals was this that the Constituent Assembly in fact deliberated actively with and took their inputs? This auditorium should be a little bit of a clue. Yeah, okay, some of you have raised a hand. I'll probably go to the person behind. Yes, yourself, you can introduce yourself and try to give out the answer.
Right, so my name is Rahul Gulati. I am actually a law student. It's just a guess, I guess. Sixth schedule for sixth schedule.
Sixth schedule, all right? Good thinking, not quite. Anyone else? So an external group of the Constituent Assembly, right? Not inside the Constituent Assembly, some external group that they took advice from. Okay, so, okay, over to Anand. Lawyers. Need a little more. Bar counsel. Okay, so another guess here.
I mean, it's just a guess from the audience clue that you gave, but I think suggestions from the public were also invited through letters.
In public were also a lot of public consultations, okay, but a specific group were engaged even more for their inputs in relation to the Constituent Assembly, different articles and so on. Okay, yes, quickly.
Judges.
Judges is what we were looking for. The judges of the federal court then, right, who were consulted as an external group, they were consulted quite extensively for the Constituent Assembly. So that was what we were looking for. Good answer. I think a law student actually making time and being part of the lawyers quiz. Fantastic. Right, so we're done with, I think, our audience questions. Now for the scores. Okay, as the scores come up. Last 10 questions of the quiz remaining. Right. After 4 rounds of quizzing, Team 1 at 40 points. Team 2, I think they have been a little bit of a seesaw with minus 35. Team 3, it has a century. Team 4 at 125. Team 5 at 70. Team 6 at 55. Team 7 at 115. Team 8 at 45. Anybody's game. The last round, 200 points at stake. 10 questions of the buzzer round coming up on the screen. Right? Fingers on the buzzer, plus 20 for every right answer, minus 10 for an incorrect answer. Questions will come up on the screen. Teams, get ready. On the buzzer, question number 1 coming up now. Which Indian state has a record of 11 presidential rules?
Manipur.
Manipur is right. Manipur is right. So very good answer. Plus 20 to team 6. Very good answer. So this is Manipur. Right? So we have refreshed all the buzzers. In fact, I'll just, for the visibility of knowing who has pressed the buzzers, I'll probably get here. Right? Okay, next question. All the buzzers are refreshed. Fingers on the buzzer. Question number 2. Now, Muthulakshmi Reddy has many firsts.
She was the first legislator.
So she was the first legislator in British India and in India. I'll give it to you. That's the right answer. Muthulakshmi Reddy, who was so many firsts, including the first female student admitted to a men's college, the first woman house surgeon at the government maternity and ophthalmic hospital, first chairperson of the State Social Welfare Advisory Board, and she was honored with a Google Doodle as well on her 133rd birth anniversary. She was part of the Madras Legislative Council, so the first female legislator in India. Good answer. So 20 points to team 6. 20 points to team 6. All the buzzers are refreshed. Fingers on the buzzer. Question number 3 coming up now. What term was coined for the first time by an American historian and Pulitzer Prize winner Arthur Schlesinger Jr. in his article, The Supreme Court, 1947, published in the Fortune magazine, where he categorized 9 justices of the Supreme Court of the United States based on certain parameters? I need an answer. You've hit the buzzer. What term?
Full bench.
Full bench is a minus 10. Full bench is a minus 10. He went on to categorize the judges and he coined a term which we all have heard of. Anyone in the audience who wants to take a crack at this? A term, and effectively basis the kind of judgments that they were giving, he categorized them, and that's the origin of a certain term. Legally, we all know it. Relevant. Anyone? Okay, so last who has raised his hand, yes? If you can use the mic.
So he coined this term.
Use the mic.
Activist judge. Activist.
So he kind of bifurcated into activist judges and so on, and the origin of judicial activism as a term was there. That's the right answer. Very good answer. So this was the origin of the term judicial activism, and he categorized the judges in that article, and that was the origin of that, right? Okay, so minus 10 to team 8. Fingers on the buzzer. Next question, question number 4, coming up on the screen now. With an Indian father and an English mother, he was the only Christian and Eurasian judge amongst 8 judges appointed to the Supreme Court of India, and his father-in-law was a Nobel Peace Prize winner, John Mott. Justice Vivian Bose is a good 20 points. Very good answer. So Justice Vivian Bose, whose father-in-law was in fact a Nobel laureate, right? So this is Justice Vivian Bose. Good answer. Next question coming up on the screen. Question number 5. Fingers on the buzzers, all of you. Now, the Italian origins of this term trace back to Venetian currency in the 16th century, which was used to refer to the cost of a newspaper. Over time, the term became an epithet for newspapers as they priced at 1 Venetian currency. So, yes, team 5 were the first to go for it.
Gazette.
Gazette is the right answer. So, because 1 gazette was the price of that newspaper, of course, now we need to notify on a gazette. So, that's the origin of gazette. Very good answer there. Fingers on the buzzer. Question number 6 coming up. All of you, here it comes. Question number 6. This is the obituary of which famous petitioner?
R.C. Cooper.
You're saying R.C. Cooper, and which famous celebrated case? The bank nationalization case. He was the non-executive chairman of the Times of India, the general secretary of the Swatantra Party, and won the famous bank nationalization case. Rustam C. Cooper is right. Very good answer. I think a huge round of applause for Team 3 for getting that. Next question number 7 coming up on the screen. Get ready. Here it comes. What day is commemorated? Okay, Team 6 has gone for it.
International Mother Language Day.
During a protest near Dhaka High Court for the recognition of Bengali as a national language in East Pakistan. I'll give it to you. That's the right answer. This is the International Mother Language Day. Very good. Or Mother's Language Day. That's a good 20 points to Team 6. 20 points to Team 6. Well done. A protest that led to this movement. Question number 8 coming up. Last 3 questions of the quiz. The grand finale. Let's see who will be our champions. Question 8. What data point is depicted in the map shown alongside? I need an answer. Team 3, you went for it. And it's the grand finale. You can't buy time. I need an answer. Minus.
We'll go with Supreme Court judges per current,
the Supreme Court judges and from where they are. Hard luck, minus 10, Team 3. I have to be fair to the other teams. You can't hit the buzzer and then try to work out the answer. This is 1 per attempt. We'll go for the audience now. Anyone? Okay, sir. Over to you. You can introduce yourself.
I'm Harish, Prohibition.
So, Prohibition or dry states of India. Fabulous answer, sir. So that's why Gujarat was quite there for all of you to look at, right? So all the... Yeah, right. So we had Justice Harish Vaidyanathan, sir, from the Delhi High Court getting that answer right. A huge round of applause for sir for getting that. Right, and we're also very glad to have with us guest of honor, Justice Devendra Kumar, sir, to be here with us. So a huge round of applause for sir for gracing the occasion today. Question, I think the last 2 questions of the quiz remaining. Fingers on the buzzers, all of you. Question number 9. Now. Oh, somebody has gone for it. It's Team 5. You can't buy time now. Tell me who this famous environmental justice lawyer is. So you're saying this is Erin Brockovich in real life who inspired the movie. Erin Brockovich, I'll give it to you. Quick on the buzzer. Erin Brockovich is the right answer. Plus 20. Right? And before I read out the last question of the quiz, I think you've seen the caliber of quizzing here. Can we have a huge round of applause for all our grand finalists? Superb performance. And this journey of Amicus Curiae of the last 6 months would have not happened if not for the generosity and kindness of the 14 senior advocates who made this happen. Can we give a huge round of applause for all the 14 senior advocates for taking this initiative? And the last question of the quiz coming up.
Can we have those scores?
At this stage, I will, for the purpose of, I'll read out because I know all of you are calculating and it's the grand finale. I'll just use my discretion. Quickly, I'll read it out. Team 1 is at 40. Oh, okay. Scores are just being calculated. So just give us a moment. If we have the scores. Okay, so the team is really getting to crunch the last few numbers, right? And I'll read out the questions. Okay, so in the meanwhile, I probably can ask a question to all of you. Which famous personality ran a very interesting column in Indian Express for a very long time called Soliloquies, right? So it was Soli Sorabji. That's the right answer. So Soliloquies is Soli Sorabji. I think we are ready with the scores. The last question of the quiz coming. We're just cross-checking fully. So let me, right? Team 1 is at 60. Team 2 is at minus 35, but they have been a very sportive team. So keep it up. 110 is at Team 3. Team 4 is at 125. Team 5 is at 110. Team 6 is at 115. Team 7 is at 115. And Team 8 is at 35. Close as it gets.
Can you just repeat it?
In the grand finale. So just for the purposes, Team 4 is at 125. Team 3 is at 110. Team 5 is at 110. Team 6 is at 115. And Team 7 is at 115. Right? So anybody's game, and the big prize money, 1 lakh rupees cash prizes. So we would have to kind of break the tie at that stage. Right? So last question of the quiz coming up. Fingers on the buzzer. May the best of you win. Here it comes. Question number 10. Oh, I need an answer. Name this book on the history. Amicus Curiae is the name of the book. Absolutely. And the name of our quiz today. Right, so title of the book is a Latin phrase referring to a person, an organization that while not party to a legal case, supports the court in deciding the case. And the name of the book, I think a huge round of applause for Team 5 for getting that right. And because they have calculated that the score there, so I think we just quickly check if we have to break a tie. So we have third place, we have a tie between Team 6 and Team 7. So so next question is open to only Team 6 and Team 7, right? So for the third place, so I'll, on the buzzer, yeah. So the answer was Amicus Curiae. So we thought a good, interesting way to end the quiz. Now for team, it's open only to Team 6 and 7. On the buzzer, if you get it right, you get plus, you win it as a runner-up team or in the second runner-up team.
Will it appear on the screen?
Right? It'll appear on the screen. In fact, the audience questions that I have is what you will get. Fingers on the buzzer, right? So the first of our questions coming up on the screen. Here it comes. Which legal term, I need an answer, comes from the Arabic word for arafa, meaning notify? A word?
I will say affidavit. Affidavit.
Affidavit?
Yes.
Is Team 7 is the runner-up team. I think a huge round of applause for Team 7, who are the runner-up team. The answer, Arafa, was tariff. Tariff. The word is now across. I think my heart goes out. Huge round of applause for Team 6. 2-member legal researcher team from IIT Kharagpur, from Guwahati, really battling it out fantastically. Hard luck team. Arafa was word which comes tariff, right? So hard luck, and I think we've gotten the scores with that. So give us a couple of minutes of, I think, a huge round of applause for all our finalist teams for a fantastic performance in the grand finale. What we will do is give us 5 to 10 minutes where we will just arrange the stage for the prize distribution ceremony, and I will engage with you with a couple of questions as we set the stage. Right? So the next couple of questions for audience, and I request the dignitaries to be escorted by Mulidhar sir to the green room. Right? So as we start off, right, as we get the stage set up for, and request the finalist teams, we will advise you about the same. So we'll just ask you a couple more audience questions in the meanwhile to just buy time for the same. right? In December 1978, this former judge's full-size portrait was unveiled in his former court, courtroom number 2 of the Supreme Court. To this day, nobody else has had the singular honor having their portrait up in the Supreme Court during their lifetime. So, okay, it's a lot of answers. So I'll probably go to someone who's not answered. Yes, if you can quickly answer, right? Use the mic, introduce yourself and take a crack at the answer. Yes?
I am Arpit. I am practicing at the High Court of Orissa. The answer is Justice H.R. Khanna.
So from Orissa, he's come to the quiz. Justice H.R. Khanna is the right answer. Can we have a huge round of applause for him? And you get yourself a special edition stamp on the Constitution. Right? Next question coming up on the screen as we just quickly move one table to accommodate. Right? So the next question coming up. What connects all of these elements? So what connects all of these elements? So we have one hand which is raised here. If you can quickly hand over the mic to this gentleman, introduce yourself and let us know what the answer is.
Hi, I'm Jensen. I'm a lawyer from Bombay. These are all the writs, the 5 writs.
The 5 writs. That's the right answer. These are all the English translations of the writs, the Latin phrases: quo warranto, certiorari, habeas corpus, mandamus, and prohibition. Good answer there. Well done. Right. Next audience question coming up as we quickly get our setup of the stage ready. Among the 2 ideas that were offered to solve a certain problem, one was actually to sell the Indian embassy property in Tokyo, for which was about 900 crores at that time, was offered as it's in a commercial district. But the External Affairs Ministry turned it down. What was the other idea and what was the incident being referred to? Right? So what were the 2 ideas? So one was to actually sell the Indian embassy property in Tokyo, and the other, but this was something that the External Affairs Ministry did not give a go-ahead. What was done instead? So, yes, ma'am. So, ma'am is saying that the reason why it was not accepted was because the External Affairs Minister had married a Japanese at that stage. So, good guess, right? Over to sir. Yeah.
Vijay Sarathi from Bangalore. The other one is they have offered to build flats for Indian embassy themselves, Japanese government.
Right. So the Indian embassy there, the Japanese government decided to actually build flats there. So good thinking, all of you. But let me tell you, so there were these. It was a moment where we all, as a country, had to make a decision. It was a very critical decision for our country. At this stage, we had to make a choice. So one idea was to do that. The other idea prevailed. So what was that other idea? Very critical for Indian history. So a lot of you, similar hands that are raised, but I'll probably give it to this gentleman. If you can use the mic and answer.
Did they airlift gold from the Bank of England?
I will give it to you. That's the right answer. So that was the balance of payment crisis that we had, and the whole selling of pledging of the crown jewels and the gold reserves to take a loan from Bank of England was what prevailed as an answer. So very good guess at that. So the next audience question coming up. This is a 2025 Indian Bengali language legal thriller film written and directed by Srijit Mukherjee. The film is an official adaptation of a 1989 Hindi film, which is itself a remake of a 1950s American film. So which American film is this? Right? Okay, anyone here wants to take a crack at it? Yes? You can introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Rahul Gulia. I'm an advocate practicing in Delhi. I'll just take a wild guess, 12 Angry Men.
So you had 12 people there. 12 Angry Men is the right answer. Very good guess. This is 12 Angry Men. So well done. So this is 12 Angry Men and you get yourself an audience prize. Well done. The next question. I think I might be running out of questions, but here is another one. Shabani Basu's recent work titled The Mystery of the Parsi Lawyer deals with the false conviction of George Edilji, a mixed-race solicitor of Parsi descent. The case was overturned thanks to the efforts of a particular individual who examined witnesses, evidences, and used his keen deduction skills to poke holes in the state's case. This case is said to have led to the establishment, in fact, of England's Court of Criminal Appeal in 1907, who, known for his work in a related field, is this. So we have this gentleman here, if you can please hand over the mic to him. So who fought the case?
Conan Doyle.
So Arthur Conan Doyle, the famous author of Sherlock Holmes, in fact argued this famous case of the Parsi lawyer in England. So fantastic answer. So this is Arthur Conan Doyle. Very, very good answer there. Right, so the next question coming up on the screen, I think we are almost ready with, right, The Fearless Judge is a memoir of a former Chief Justice of India. He's one of the few judges who rose from the lowest ranks of the judiciary to the post of the CGI. He went on to serve 2 terms as the Vice Chancellor of the Muslim Aligarh University. Who? Anyone who wants to take a crack? In fact, today happens to be the death anniversary of the person we are speaking about. Okay, here, right at the back, if you want to, let's give it to her. Yeah, if you can introduce yourself and answer.
My name is Preeti. The answer is Justice Ahmadi.
Absolutely right. This is Justice Ahmadi, and we also had Justice, Senior Advocate Husaifa Ahmadi, who was also a Senior Advocate who sponsored the quiz. So Justice A.M. Ahmadi was the answer we were looking for. A wonderful memoir for you to read about. I think we are almost ready, and I'm waiting for a cue. Next question. I am run out of questions, but I think I can ask one from memory. Which legal term gets its origin from a word, Latin word, meaning death pledge? Death pledge. Important in anyone practicing in banking law and otherwise, right? Comes from a word meaning death pledge. So if you were to think about it, so a lot of you have raised your hand. I'm just trying to see somebody who has not answered before to take a crack at it. Yes, sir, you want to take a crack at it? Introduce yourself.
I'm Advocate V.N. Agrawal. It's mortgage.
Mortgage is right, from mortuary, which is like death. So from that origin comes mortgage. Very good answer there. And I think we are almost ready. Another question perhaps is, okay, let me quickly from memory come up with another question. Right. So Moses, 2 tablets where the testament and so on was given, has a certain significance to lawyers. How? So we have some of you who have raised it. So one of the theories is that something of significance to lawyers actually is inspired by these 2 specific tablets of Moses, where he kind of put out the tenets of the New Testament and so on. So what is this? Why is this of significance to lawyers? So I have a lady here who's taking, I think she's answered already multiple questions of the quiz, but I'll probably give you another opportunity. Over to you, ma'am.
This represents the lawyers' band.
The 2 lawyers' bands is the right answer. Very good. So these are the 2 lawyers' bands, are supposedly representative of the the tablets of Moses. Right? So I think we're just getting done with setting up this one. So I'll probably ask another question from the, okay, yeah. So Gandhiji is supposed to have chosen this name through a competition, inviting people to suggest names for the Indian movement in South Africa. Out of more than 100 entries, Gandhiji ended up selecting his cousin Magan Lal Gandhi's entry, right? What particular word came about as, in fact, a competition that Gandhiji ran in South Africa, and it became a word, a celebrated word that we associate. So, sir, if you want to quickly introduce yourself and take a crack at the answer.
Rana Mukherjee, Satyagraha?
Absolutely. Satyagraha, or fighting for truth. So this is Satyagraha, the origin of why Satyagraha movement came about. Right? So good answer there. Right. Next question, as I quickly dip into some of our previous questions. Right? Okay, so another question perhaps is, only person in India who has been a Chief Justice, a Vice President, and a President of India, right? So, yes, sir, if you can introduce yourself and take an answer.
This is Justice Hidayatullah, and I'm a poor Sarvaria advocate practicing in Delhi.
Wonderful answer. This is Justice Hidayatullah. Very good answer, who was not only the Chief Justice of India, but went on to be the Vice President and then the President of India, right? So, I think I have to, okay. So, which word, in fact, of significance now, because it is in discussion, I think I'll just stop there with that clue, comes from an Arabic word which means to detain or to hold. And in Islamic law, it is a charitable endowment of property for religious or property purposes, right? It's an endowment. It's a charitable endowment. So a lot of hands. I think I'll just go for the one right at the back to take a crack at it. Yes, right at the back if you want to. Yes?
Hi, my name is Gaurav. I think it's Waqf.
Waqf is right. So Waqf, in fact, now it's right up on discussion in front of the Supreme Court. Waqf is right. Okay, I think, are we ready, or I can pull together one more question from memory, perhaps? Okay, so one more question coming up for all of you. Okay, which app in India got its name as a tribute to the person who was instrumental through his writing for the establishment of RBI? Right? So any guesses? Which app in India was named in honor of a person whose initial writings set the foundation for a particular of Reserve Bank of India, right? Okay, so right at the back, yes, if you can shout out the answer.
I guess it's the Bheem app named after Dr. B.R. Ambedkar.
Absolutely right. This is the Beam app named after Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. So I think with that, I think we are ready with our prize distribution ceremony. Thank you all for being such a wonderful audience. We'll just start off with our prize distribution ceremony. Cheers. Thank you.
Raghav, we'll take one more minute. I think some of the winners are very happy, so they're missing. We're just waiting for them to come back. Give us a minute.
Okay.
one person's not here. He's not. There's one person missing. Don't know which case. Yeah. No, you towards your right so that I can fit in this chair. Okay, thanks. That's all right. All right. It is my pleasure once again to thank all of you for showing up for this event on a Sunday evening. We started a little lean, but we have surely finished very strong. And we are very, very grateful to all of you for giving your time to us. So a round of applause for everyone who has shown up today to make this event a success. If I can request Dr. S. Muralidhar to escort the guest of honors to the stage, please. If we can have a round of applause for our guests of honor, please. Thank you so much. Can I request Ms. Palak Bhagat to hand over a token of appreciation on behalf of the organizers to our guest of honor, Chief Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay, Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court. If we can have a round of applause, please. I will now request Ahil from the Q-Shala team to please hand over a token of appreciation to the President of the SCBA, Senior Advocate Kapil Sibal. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. As much as the organizers wanted to also felicitate Dr. Muralidhar, he has asked us not to. So we will have to skip over that part. I will now invite our quiz master for today. Let us have a round of applause for Raghav Chakravarti. Raghav will give us a short address telling us about all his pains in putting this event together over the last year. And we will then move on to the results and the prize distribution.
Thank you, Sautik. Respected Honorable Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, Devendra Upadhyay, sir, Kapil Sibal, sir, Justice Muralidhar, sir, and dignitaries off stage, on stage, lawyer friends, participants who have come from across the country to be part of the grand finale of our AMICUS CURIAE quiz. A hearty welcome to all of you to the prize distribution concluding ceremony of AMICUS CURIAE. In fact, let me start with a very quick personal note about the quiz, taking you back 15 years to this very place, the Delhi High Court. As a law student, I was interning with Justice Muralidhar, sir, and on the last day of my internship, I mentioned to sir that I was heading to Sweden for having won an all-expense-paid trip, which came as a result of winning a quiz that the Swedish embassy had organized. And sir's eyes lit up, and he said, "Hey, I'm a quizzer too, and I would love to conduct a quiz for lawyers across the country, and I have a dream about it." So I remember this from those days, and he said, "Let's create a question bank and see where we can take it." Years passed, and I worked as a corporate lawyer after passing out from law, and then co-founded Q-Shala with my co-founder Sachin to really, a passion of using quizzing to build life skills in children. And and informed about sir when I took this decision. He was very supportive of it, so on. 8 years later, I met sir again in a lecture when sir was the Orissa High Court Chief Justice, which he delivered in Bangalore. And
I happened to meet sir. He remembered me after such a long time, and he asked me to drop a card with him. I did. And 3 months later, I got a call from the registrar of the Orissa High Court indicating that sir wants to conduct a quiz for all the judicial officers and law students of the Orissa High Court on the 75th anniversary of the Orissa High Court. And this was a moment was really kind of internally, we went with all the zest, we gave it our best, and this quiz was scaled across all districts in Orissa, the Orissa High Court, and in Orissa, Odisha. And post that, with the success of that, sir also commissioned one for the judicial officers. Many times, such a quiz or a format of that nature was missing for the judicial officers, but it was received very well. We had senior judicial officers and the junior judicial officers intermingling and using this as a way of learning. So the birth of that idea from there in the Delhi High Court after 15 years has seen its date today with the grand finale of our National Lawyers Quiz coming to life. Right on the 75th anniversary of India's Constitution, I reached out to sir to say if there is a possibility of doing such a quiz for the lawyers. As usual, his eyes lit up and he said, I'll take some time to reflect on it. And he got back with the support and the gracious support of the 14 senior advocates of the Supreme Court who graciously supported this initiative. So I'm indebted to all the senior advocates who really made the quiz happen. I think they deserve a huge round of applause for the same. And a note here was, not only sir commissioned this quiz, but truly, despite his packed schedule, he attended every zonal final, rain or shine. His commitment, eye of detail, generosity and discipline have an education for all of us ourselves in executing the quiz. Thank you, sir, for being the sole force behind Amicus Curiae. We are all deeply indebted for all of you, the 14 senior advocates and yourself. Now for the quiz, we had close to about 1,000 lawyers from across the country participating in the quiz, including practicing lawyers, in-house counsel, and you could see them all here in the grand finale as well, legal researchers, senior civil servants, law professors, and LLM students as well. The quiz was designed to really see the interplay of law with history, music, literature, art, so that a holistic perspective of law can be brought in with these quiz questions and so on. Right, and we hosted zonal rounds in 4 different premier institutes in India, and a conscious decision to do it with law colleges so that law students and lawyers could intermingle when a quiz was being organized as nature. We did it in Bangalore at the MS Ramaiah College of Law, and it was graced by the guest of honor was Justices Kameshwar Rao and Suraj Govindrajan sir, and in Calcutta in NUJS with Justice Joymalya Bakchi sir, in Mumbai at the Government Law College with Justice retired Gautam Patel sir, and at Delhi 2 weeks back at the Indian Society of International Law, which was graced by Justice Vivu Bakru sir, who is here, and Honorable Justice K.V. Vishwanathan sir. Each of them urged lawyers and all of us to embrace quizzing as a mind sport, to build collaboration, humility, and as a strong route to build lifelong learning. Hosting it in colleges also allowed that interplay between students and lawyers. A quiz can be daunting. Many times putting yourself out there, risking being wrong in front of an audience, but overcoming that fear, I believe, is at the heart of learning. To all the participants who had the courage, who showed that courage, curiosity, commitment, I think a huge round of applause for all of you. I'd like to close this note, and I would argue that more than just a competition, quizzing fosters a fundamental duty listed under Article 15(1)(h) of our Constitution. The fundamental duty to develop a scientific temper, humanism, and a spirit of inquiry. An act of questioning, seeking answers, building critical thinking, being curious, having an open mind truly defines a quiz, furthering this cherished constitutional value. I hope Amicus Curiae has been a catalyst in furthering these constitutional values. Thank you so much.
Before I move on to the guests of honor, there's a request from the photography team that if the pots can be removed as they're covering the faces. So I'll just request our partner Ashish to collect the pots. Thank you, Ashish. If I may now request Senior Advocate Kapil Sibal to share with us his thoughts on today's event and how he thinks that events like this, quizzes, they help members of the bar. So if you would like to speak from her, you may also take your seat, whichever is comfortable for you, whatever you prefer. Please, sir, please. You can be, whichever you prefer, sir, no problem.
Well, Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, my friend Muralidhar, senior advocates of the Supreme Court, the 14 advocates who have financed this project, and all the young participants here and my lawyer friends in the audience. What a wonderful evening this has been for me. I realized that if I were to be in this quiz, I would be only displaying my ignorance, not my learning, because the kind of questions that were asked, I personally had very few answers for them myself. So congratulations to all of you for the enormous talent that I've seen today during the course of this evening. But, and of course, the greatest contribution is that of AMICUS CURIAE, and Q Shala for organizing this event. I believe that about 23 universities participated in this with over 240 odd lawyers. That's something that's phenomenal. And it tells you the kind of depth of knowledge that our young students have in the area of the law, and they are the future of this country, and each of them participated with great confidence and clapped when the others won. So that's a great sportsman spirit that I saw. And I can tell you that the quiz that I saw this afternoon was far more difficult than when Justice Muralidhar used to quiz me in court when I argued before him. But I have another thought on this, which is that when you talked about quizzing in the context of the Constitution, in the context of culture, in the context of history, of films, of art, of jurisprudence, of literature, of technology, if you really look at our Constitution, you will find all that within it. You look at Article 370, it is full of history. You look at Article 19, it's full of history. And I would like you at some point in time to start looking, because the subject is Constitution and the laws. You concentrate on the Constitution and see the elements of history involved in the various articles of the Constitution. Because ultimately the Constitution has been framed in a historical context. And if you want to look at culture, you will find the provisions in 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. A lot of culture there. If you look at technology, you will find the movement of the court from one era to another, embracing technology. So I think at some stage, you should start moving away from just the law and start looking at our Constitution and see the values that emerge from the Constitution in the context of history, in the context of culture, in the context of jurisprudence, of literature, and of course of technology. And why I say this is because the march of civilization is in a sense a constant desire to move from disorder to order. This is a constant. In any given moment in history, the attempt in civilized society is to ensure that order prevails over disorder. That is how society evolves, since the nature of disorder keeps changing and the dialectics of order seek resolution. That is why in a democratic world, we rely on a third party to resolve conflicts representing two different points of view, for which a resolution is sought to give quietus to the dispute. This is because the judgment rendered by a third party is accepted as a resolution of the dispute. The constitution of any country sets out the parameters through which order can be maintained in civilized society. This is because there are innate conflicts which arise in the course of the conduct of individuals, communities, and stakeholders. The upholding of these constitutional values that seek order, resolved through a process of adjudication, is called the rule of law. When young professionals enter a quiz competition, in respect of the Constitution and the laws, they must realize that the profession of law is a lifelong calling, requiring professional commitment to participate honestly and constructively in a well-recognized process through which order is resolved to give quietus to all nature of disorder. Every lawyer must become a torchbearer of justice. A lawyer should be the guiding light for resolution of all forms of disorder. Disorder is endemic in society. At any given point in time in the history of a nation, there is a movement towards disorder and a counterbalance that is the desire for order. That is why the role of a professional assumes great significance. We all want an orderly society in which we can prosper. When I say all, I mean every citizen of this country, irrespective of his caste, his creed, his religion, his race, his language, and cultural traditions, that he or she is born with and embraces a set of values consistent with orderly society. To that extent, we are not individuals in society isolated from the rest, having agendas which become the genesis of disorder. In a sense, therefore, an advocate is a yeoman for peace, ensuring that society evolves through processes of law which bring about the kind of order which is beneficial to every citizen. It is when institutional disorders are created that the responsibility of a lawyer assumes greater significance. Then he has to stand up not just for individuals, but for societal benefit to fight against the unleashing of a set of disorders contrary to the rule of law. So when young professionals participate in a quiz in respect of issues relating to Constitution and the laws, they may find answers for which they will be rewarded. But the real reward of a lawyer will lie in his societal role, in his or her professional commitment to the cause of justice. Justice is not easy to ensure. It is rather difficult. A professional must decide for himself what causes he needs to fight in the context of the dialectical attrition between order and disorder. He may have his own concept of order to which he may be truly faithful, but there is no concept of order outside the constitutional parameters which represent the moral principles for achieving the greatest good of all. Every lawyer in the profession needs to decide how and in what manner he will defend the Constitution and the laws. That is the quiz he will have to answer in the course of his legal journey. Good luck to you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Your words of wisdom often leave us young lawyers wondering whether we are even half as capable as we need to be to live up to the responsibilities that you have cast on us. But I hope we will all try our best and be able to meet those standards. Before I move on to invite Chief Justice Upadhyay, I am informed that Chief Justice of India, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, is slightly under the weather and has not been able to come to the event because of his unwell condition. But he has sent a letter for all of us, and he has sent his best regards. So if I may invite his law clerk and researcher, Shayan, to kindly come on stage and read out the letter from the Chief Justice of India.
Mr. Justice Devendra Upadhyay, Chief Justice of the High Court of Delhi, Mr. Kapil Sibal, Senior Advocate and President, Supreme Court Bar Association, Dr. S. Murlidhar, Senior Advocate and the person behind this quiz competition, finalists, participants, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste and good evening. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Dr. Murlidhar and the entire Q-Shala team. This legal quiz is unique. It goes beyond traditional formats, exploring the Constitution and law through the lenses of history, culture, films, and literature. The participation of over 1,000 lawyers from across India reflects the growing enthusiasm for quizzing and legal awareness. I would also like to acknowledge and appreciate the contribution of 14 senior advocates who have collectively sponsored the prize money for this competition. This quiz marks the 75th anniversary of the adoption of the Constitution of India. This is not just a celebration. It is a tribute to a living, evolving document that continues to shape our democracy. We, the people of India, do not merely acknowledge the Constitution, we live by it, upholding it as its trustees and custodians. A global study of national constitutions revealed that on an average, constitutions survive for only 17 years. Yet, the Indian Constitution has been steadfast for 75 years, across 3 generations. Indians have lived, thrived, and fulfilled their aspirations under the constitutional framework. One may ask, what sets the Indian Constitution apart? What makes it endure while many others have faltered? The answer is a combination of strong foundations and adaptability. The many amendments which reflect societal progress, an independent judiciary, the conduct of free and fair elections, and the people's faith in a democratic system of governance. All of these factors symbolize that the Constitution is flexible enough to evolve with the time, yet it is firm enough in its foundational principles. Every era of the Supreme Court's jurisprudence serves as a mirror to our nation's challenges. Just as changing seasons tell the story of a tree's growth, our judgments chronicle the evolution of India's constitutional landscape. Landmark rulings on land reforms, essential commodities, and socio-economic rights. They remind us that courts do not function in a vacuum. They respond to the needs and issues of society, shaping the course of our country's progress. More than just a social contract, the Constitution is a space of reimagining ideals and values. For example, the making of the Indian Constitution was not an isolated event. It was a nationwide movement infused with public participation at an unprecedented scale. Across political divide, refugee camps, classrooms, and tribal villages, Indians read, debated, and shaped the Constitution. Indian democracy, despite a diverse electorate and many challenges, has remained steadfast and unique. Our tryst with democracy proves that democratic values thrive when actively defended and practiced. However, democracy is not just about the casting of votes. It must be lived daily through civic awareness and a shared sense of community. Being imbued with a sense of history and tradition is essential to this duty. A strong awareness of history through competitions such as this enhances our ability to analyze and engage with contemporary legal challenges. The spirit of inquiry, the relentless drive to seek knowledge, also fuels progress and innovation. It leads to unexpected discoveries. Let me explain this through a story. In 1982, Gregory Watson, a University of Texas student, while researching for a paper, stumbled upon the long-forgotten 27th Amendment of the US Constitution. Originally proposed in 1789, the amendment had never been ratified by the required number of states. Now, since it wasn't ratified by the required number of states, it never took effect. Watson realized that since no deadline had been set, the amendment was still legally viable. His professor dismissed his argument and gave him a C, calling it a dead letter issue. Refusing to accept defeat, Watson launched a grassroots campaign, writing to state legislators and rallying support. A decade later, in 1992, the required 38 states ratified the amendment, making it law. This was more than 200 years after it was first proposed. This is a very powerful story of how awareness and advocacy can shape the law. To the early career lawyers present here, you have the time, the energy, and the intellectual capacity to deepen your knowledge and sharpen your legal acumen. The legal field is unique in that it demands constant learning. every case, every argument, every courtroom experience is an examination. Unlike other professions, law goes beyond individual successes. It involves engaging with the society at large. In a world driven by quick reels and rigid opinions, changing one's perspective is often seen as a weakness. Certainty is mistaken for strength. However, true intelligence is not about knowing it all. It is about staying curious and striving to grow. Every competition, no matter how rigorous, is a reminder of how much more there is to learn. In the spirit of sportsmanship that this competition has ignited, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the winners, finalists, and all participating teams. In conclusion, I would like to highlight an essential aspect. The bar is more than a participant in the justice system. A proactive bar strengthens the rule of law by critically engaging with legal developments and advocating for reforms when necessary. It must actively contribute to the growth of the law. Participation in competitions like quizzes and debating ensures that the justice system is constantly evolving. In this spirit, and it is my suggestion that the bar actively debate and discuss on the following issues. Number 1, how do senior advocates raise the bar? Number 2, is legalese the antithesis of justice? Number 3, do Indian courts excessively rely upon foreign jurisprudence? Number 4, is there nepotism within the Indian bar? A vibrant, engaged, and self-reflective bar is essential to our democracy. It must not be a passive observer, but an active force in shaping the profession and the justice system at large. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for so kindly bringing Justice Sanjeev Khanna's words to us. If I may attempt to answer one of the questions that he asked of us, when he said, how do senior advocates raise the bar? I think the answer lies in the question that senior advocates raise the bar, they nurture the bar, they teach us what we should do, they inspire us. And that is how I think senior advocates can raise the bar, not just of legal advocacy, but of the bar as an institution itself. I now have the honor to invite Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, Honorable Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay, to address us on this issue.
My sister and brother judges of Delhi High Court, Shri Kapil Sibbal, President Supreme Court Bar Association, Dr. S. Muralidhar, Senior Advocate, Senior Advocates and sponsors of the competition, dear participants and members of the audience, Namaskar and a very good evening. I join Mr. Kapil Sibbal when he says that had we been participating in the quiz, we would have realized our ignorance more. Such was the standard of the quiz. An amazing experience just which I could gather in sitting here amongst while the quiz was going on for a minute or two, but it was amazing. Chief Justice of India, in his address which was read by his law clerk, referred to a study which says that average life of a constitution is 17 years. You know, I feel very happy and satisfied that we are organizing this quiz competition on 75th anniversary of our constitution. That's a great satisfaction, and it in itself is a guarantee to the democratic setup of our society. You know, the other day I had said this and I am repeating it. Sir Ivor Jennings, was one of the fiercest critics of our constitution. He used to call our constitution as a lawyer's paradise. He was a scholar, renowned jurist. He was Vice Chancellor of Ceylon University first, and then he became Vice Chancellor at Cambridge. He was consulted while our neighboring nations framed their constitutions, including Pakistan, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. Now, Sri Lankan constitution is said to have been drafted by him. See the irony. The constitution which in his view was not so good, lasted at least, we are running into 75 years, and Sri Lankan constitution which he drafted, it lasted only for 14 years. So that's the robustness of our constitution, and we should not only celebrate but also work it so that the benefit of our constitution goes to the roots for whom the constitution is made. The idea of organizing a legal quiz to commemorate 75th year of constitution is indeed interesting. Constitutional law as an area of practice is available to limited practitioners, and as a result, many practitioners, especially in the areas without a high court in the proximity, feel distant from the constitutional law. This quiz has provided a great opportunity to the lawyers practicing in different corners of the country to engage in a unique constitutional discourse. The most satisfying part of this entire quiz competition has been that it encompassed the entire length and breadth of the country. And it was not organized for half an hour or an hour. So that's the most satisfying part so far as I am concerned about this quiz competition. It is even more interesting that this engagement is taking place beyond the four walls of courtroom, where ideas can flow more freely and questions could be sourced liberally from different cultural and historical aspects. As I was going through the note sent along with this invite, I could see that underlying idea of quiz was to explore the Constitution and its values from diverse lenses, including cultural, historical, art, films, literature, and technology. It is heartening acknowledgement that the values enshrined in the Constitution touch all the aspects of human life and are capable of being understood from different perspectives of the contemporary society. As lawyers and judges, we often look at the Constitution as a legal document and try to find its meaning from a legalistic point of view. However, it is equally important to look at the Constitution as a social document and from the point of view of those who have no relation with the formal world of law. An insight into the perceived meanings of Constitution from the perspectives of an artist, a historian, a technologist, a worker, a journalist, a filmmaker, a poet, or a writer could help us all in cultivating and appreciating the diversity implicit in the words of our Constitution. After all, the Constitution belongs to one and all, even to those who are ignorant of it. I am certain that this quiz competition would have ignited a spark amongst all the participants to delve deeper into the world of Constitution and to understand it from different perspectives. I also congratulate the senior advocates and the senior members of the bar who have graciously sponsored the quiz competition. It is indeed heartening that the senior members of the bar have come together to contribute in this pan-India academic exercise. I congratulate and welcome all the participants, the winners, the runners-up, and all the participants in all the zonal rounds today. Irrespective of the outcome, I can confidently say that you will all shall go back with abundance of knowledge and a renewed interest in the constitutional law, which in itself is a great takeaway. On this note, I thank the organizers for having me here today. It was indeed a pleasure to be part of this gathering. Thank you.
We'll now move on to the announcement of results and prizes, but just before that, there are two small things that I need to go through. First is to inform everyone in the audience that the high tea is a misnomer. I promise you it's almost a dinner. I have sampled it myself, so it'll be worth your time. But more importantly, if I may request Ms. Anmol Kaur Bawa from LiveLaw, who's the media partner of the event, to kindly come on stage. And I'd request Senior Advocate Kapil Sibal to hand over a token of appreciation from our side to our media partners, LiveLaw. It is not an empty bag, I promise you. Thank you, LiveLaw, for being the media partner for the event. I'll also take this opportunity to invite Nitinji on behalf of Q Shala, who are the quiz partners for this event and really the brains behind this entire event. If you can kindly come on stage, I'd request Honorable Chief Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay to hand over the... I'll also request Ahil from Q Shala to kindly come on stage to accept the token of appreciation. Raghav, of course, has had his fair share of introduction today, so I don't need to introduce him again. Thank you so much, Q Shala, for making this happen. All right, we now move to the announcement of the results, which is not really a suspense, but we will now be handing over the cash prizes and the mementos to the winners. If I may request, the second runner-up for the event, the North Zone Delhi team of Pranjal Kishore, Mukund P. Unni and Manish Tiwari to kindly come on stage. Huge round of applause for a very closely contested final. Call upon the team that is the first runner-ups for the AMICUS CURIAE final, the team from East Zone Kolkata of Gaurav Das Gupta, Arpan Banerjee and Jhuma Sen. Ms. Jhuma Sen has travelled against medical advice to make it here despite a fracture to her leg. So thank you for making it happen. All right, please put your hands together for the winners of AMICUS CURIAE Grand Finale. The team from the West Zone of Subhajit Chakravarti, Rajendra Bhaskar and Arun Kumar. For those of you who've missed the India-New Zealand match, at least our prize distribution makes up for that. It looks the same like the cricket match. I think it is best not to comment. I'd now like to invite Dr. S. Muralidhar to give the vote of thanks for the event.
Thank you, Shautik. It's been a wonderful journey of 6 months, but the crowning point was definitely today. And I have a lot of people to thank. Let me begin with the Chief Justice of India, Justice Sanjeev Khanna. This afternoon at 12 o'clock, with a hoarse throat, he gave me a call saying, I waited till this moment for my doctor to permit me to come for the quiz. And he just will not let me go in this state. And that's how he's sent a written message. He was so enthusiastic when we invited him to be there for this function. Deeply grateful to Justice Sanjeev Khanna for his gracious acceptance of our invitation and agreeing to be with us. And Shayan for bringing his message to us. Chief Justice Upadhyay, I've known him for many, many years from his lawyer days. Again, was very, very warm and immediately reciprocated and said, of course, I will be there. I'm deeply grateful to you, sir, for this. Mr. Sybil is so difficult to catch, but I'm sure he found it difficult to refuse me. So, despite, I mean, it's almost cliched saying despite his busy schedule, he's here with us. It's actually one of those rare occasions when we're able to get Mr. Sybil to stay here for more than 2 hours, and thank you, sir, for that. The words spoken by each of them will stay with us for long, and it will enthuse us that more such functions and more such quizzes are organized on a national scale. And this is my hope that we organize it for judicial officers. I would urge Justice Upadhyay to do it for the Delhi judicial officers, and I would urge Justice Khanna to do it for judicial officers on a national scale. And this is a wonderful year to do it, sir, because it's the 75th year of the Constitution, and as good as any time to start this kind of an initiative. I found it had great resonance in Orissa. It enthused the judicial officers and brought out all the latent talents. And it's a nice teamwork that we are able to see in play among the judicial officers. I also wish to thank all the judges of the Delhi High Court who very graciously accepted our invitation and agreed to remain present here for the entire event. I'm hopeful that you found it rewarding, and thank you very much for being here. I also wish to thank Justice V.K. Rao, Justice Suraj Govindaraj, who both presided over the South Zone finals, Justice Joymalia Bagchi, who presided over the East Zone finals, Justice Gautam Patel, former judge of the Bombay High Court, who was there for the West Zone finals, and of course Justice K.V. Vishwanathan, Judge Supreme Court of India, and Justice Vibhu Bakru of the Delhi High Court for being present for the North Zone finals. I also wish to thank Professor Uma Mahesh Satyanarayan, Principal of the M.S. Ramaiah College, which hosted the Southern Zone finals, Dr. Nirmal Kanti Chakrabarti, Vice Chancellor NUJS, for the East Zone finals, which was held there, Dr. Asmita Advait Vidya, Principal of the Government Law College, Mumbai, and all the wonderful students who enthusiastically participated in the arrangement made there, Dr. U.C. Jha, the Director General of the Indian Society for International Law, where we organized the North Zone finals. And my own dear, very dear friends, Mr. Arvind Datar, Chandar Uday Singh, Damas Seshadri Naidu, Huzefa, Joydeep Gupta, Madhvi Diwan, Meenakshi, Nakul Diwan, Raju Ramchandran, Rana Mukherjee, Rebecca John, our master quizzer, Sanjay Hegde, and Siddharth Luthra, readily agreeing without batting an eyelid, saying, yes, tell us when, where, and we'll send you the money to sponsor this entire event. And I think that gave me the biggest hope that we could pull this off. Q Shala, much has been spoken about them. I've actually seen them in action. They are a dedicated team. Today you saw two of them in action. Ahil working the scores, and Raghav, of course, at his very best. But apart from these two, there are Neville, Lokesh Kaza, Shreyam, Akshat, Hakim, Tania Babu, Masoom, Subodh Jayesh, Shruti, Keshav, and Apurva, who's here. They work round the clock. Raghav's diary is more full than some of our senior advocates. So he's so busy flitting across the country, conducting quizzes for all groups, not school children, colleges, even institutions, sometimes companies, corporates. He's busy. It's great to see that kind of a spirit exist in our country. It gives us great hope. And I think there's so much scope for lawyers' quizzes. With some trepidation, can I suggest a quiz for judges of the High Court? And that will be great fun. I think we could try that at an all India level, and it will be rewarding. LiveLaw team, we had one of them here to receive our token of appreciation for them. Manu Sebastian readily agreed to be the media partner. Rory John has been behind the cameras. He's here. I think we could give him a good round of applause. He's been ensuring the live streaming of this event. It was very heartwarming to see our MC of the event, Shautik. Shautik, your participation today was amazing. I think he deserves a good round of applause. for keeping all our spirits up. I wish to personally thank the Secretariat of the Chief Justice of India and the Secretariat of the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court and Shayan of the Law Clerk of the Chief Justice of India. The Delhi High Court Protocol Department has been working tirelessly. May I thank Shamim Ahmed, Joint Registrar, Mr. Bhisht, Deputy Registrar, Mr. Kamleshwar Thakur, Mr. Dinesh Nayal, Assistant Registrar, Mr. Vipin Baisla, Mr. Narendra Kumar, Sunny Makkar, Vaibhav Joshi, and Devendra Dabla, all of the protocol branch. They've been working day and night for the last 2 days to make sure that all the arrangements are just perfect and the entire event goes off without a hitch. From my own office, I wish to thank Karthik, Palak, Maitreya, all of whom are here, Nitinji, Shivraj, Raju, Shravan, and Arsh. The excellent sound department, which of course had a few glitches, but by and large I think the whole event went well, organized by the Havi Design India LLP, and from there we have Anand Jyoti and his team comprising Vipin Patel, Ajay Shah, Raju Chaudhary, and Anil Gupta. Some of you who have not already noticed it will notice as you go out that there are posters of pages of women in the Constituent Assembly who played an important role, and certain quotes from many of them in the Constituent Assembly from the debates. And you will find a tray kept there where a team from Reclaim Constitution headed by Vinay Kumar and assisted by Ibrahim Akram, Ramiz Ahmed, Lukman Hakim and Lamiz Jifri are helping you print out your own copy of the preamble. So it's quite a fascinating thing to watch, and they'll be very happy to help you do it. So this is a table that's always been set up in all our regional rounds, and we found enthusiastic response from all the participating lawyers. I want to thank each one of the teams that attended today's finals. They worked very hard to come to this level, and it's very little to separate one from the other, as we actually saw happen. I am particularly moved by Team 6, both the academics at IIT Kharagpur, who fought so well till the end and it was a true spirit of the quiz competition. And all the other participants who may not have made it, but made the event a success and reminded us why participating in an event like this was more important than winning. Thank you, all of you in the audience, for readily responding to the invitation, and to all of you watching this online. May our Constitution live forever and get stronger and stronger and keep all our hopes alive. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. S. Muralidhar sir. Can I request the teams to just gather around the dignitaries for a final photo so that we can quickly then break for our meal. Call Ahil also. Ahil, please join them. You decide who was the winner. You're the most important person. I'll just ask the teams to wait so that the guest of honor can leave first. Just escort, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.